Welcome back to I Did This Instead of Killing Myself, a stand-up comedy and lifestyle podcast I host out of my apartment. My name is David Bakker. It is the week of December 20th. And you know what that means? It's Christmas on Friday. Or wait, is it Saturday? Yeah, it's Saturday. So Merry Christmas, everyone. Went out and got a Christmas tree. If you're watching on video, you can see it. I think it's pretty sweet. Charlie Brown style. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. And there is a lot to be thankful for, comedy-wise and otherwise. I'm going to be spending some time with my family. I hope you guys get a chance to do that too. And also, I want to let you guys know, we're going to be taking a couple weeks off from this show. It'll be back in January. January 10th, we'll have a new episode. So this will be our last episode of 2021. Thank you all for listening. And today we have a very special guest, Brandon Rainwater. Like some of the other recent comics we've had, Brandon is one of the most tenured comics in Greenville. He's been doing stand-up for almost 8 years, and he's actually had some career success in terms of social media presence, touring, and all that. So Brandon's a great source of knowledge and helpful for newer comics like me and other comics you've seen on here. For what's the next step? You start out as an open micer. How long should you be doing stand-up before you can expect to kind of level up? And what should you be focusing on if you want to take it to the next level and build that following? So a couple things about Brandon. He recently started touring with Ginger Billy. Ginger Billy is a social media celebrity. He's got about 12 million followers across all of his platforms. And he turned into a stand-up comic, met Brandon, and then Brandon started touring on his national tour this year. So Brandon's rapidly growing in just exposure, but he'd already been, working as a comic here in Greenville for years before that happened. So really enjoyed our interview. Really informative, especially for younger comics like me. I appreciated all the insight he had to offer. And yeah, Brandon runs when he's in town, he runs the Jokes Out Loud show on Thursday at the Comedy Zone. So if you're a brand new comic and you want to meet him in person, come on out. He's always cool and supportive when he is in town. Like I said, now he's out of town a lot. So really enjoyed the interview. Before we get into the interview, though, here's what's going on in local comedy the week of December 20th, 2021. Merry Christmas. First, we have Coffee Underground starting tonight. That's 7 o'clock, hosted by No Expectations Comedy, Craig Holcomb. Get there a little bit before 7 to sign up. No mic on Tuesday this week. On Wednesday, we have a radio room hosted by Adam Schulte at 8 o'clock. No cover there. Get there early. Contact Adam Schulte to get on the list. And then Thursday, we have the Jokes Out Loud open mic show at the Comedy Zone. Sign up starts on Sundays, which it'll already be past by the time this goes up, but sign up for that is going to be every Sunday at 5 o'clock now. And then since we won't have a podcast episode before this, I wanted to shout out the New Year's Eve show on Friday, December 31st, 7 p.m., doors open, 8 o'clock show. Brandon Rainwater, Jarrell Williams, and a couple other comics. So guests today, you can see Brandon perform extended time. It's going to be a family-friendly comedy show at the Comedy Zone. Clean comedy at 8 o'clock. All right, that's it for local comedy. Hope you all have a Merry Christmas, and I hope you enjoy my interview with Brandon. Here it is. All right, here we go. Brandon Rainwater. I'm really excited to have you at my place.
Yeah.
And as we got started, Brandon was giving me crap about comedy books. You really be reading comedy books?
Yeah, I didn't know, man. Like I said, that's a surprise. You really read them. Like I've never read any.
I'm a nerd, but you said you've never read a comedy book.
I've never read a comedy book. Never been to a comedy class.
That is, dude. It seems like good comics don't do that.
Well, I think it just depends on different paths, different roads for different people. You know, I got ADHD too, so
Well, yeah,
can't
but
read no book.
So okay, I want to defend myself a little bit.
Okay.
These two books I got here. Okay, so the top one is Norm Macdonald. This is like a novel. This isn't a how-to book. On
Okay,
comedy.
okay.
This is like
Okay,
worth reading.
okay.
And this, I don't even sit down and read this, but this is every joke Jerry's ever written.
Really?
So yeah, so if you just wanted to like flip through this and like
Okay.
check out jokes and stuff.
That's every joke Jerry Seinfeld has ever written.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
And it's like split out into decades. Oh yeah, on the front.
Okay.
You see the different decades, so 70s, 80s, 90s.
Wow.
So I think that's a little arrogant. He made like a whole.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know if I've ever heard of anybody writing a whole book of jokes that they've done. I mean, but hey, that's if that's what you want to do.
It's his body of work. He's proud of it. He's
read.
Jerry Seinfeld. He's one of the greatest.
Hey,
so.
I mean, like he's got a show, man, that everybody still watch. So
Yeah.
and you even marked your place. I like this. This is so
my-
you. This is you. Like every time I.
What did you say earlier? It's very white.
It's
comic
very
of you.
it's very white comic of you to be reading comic books. Yeah, I'm just saying the black comics that I know, and if it's black comics that read comic books for about comedy, cool. But the ones that I know, I've never seen them read a book.
Right. Well, so the books I don't.
A book about comedy. I don't mean we can read. We just don't read comedy books. I want to clear that out right now.
Do you like Jerry Seinfeld, by the way?
No. Jerry Seinfeld is very funny, man.
Yeah.
He's very funny.
Yeah.
He's the white version of Bill Cosby if he didn't be Bill Cosby.
That's true. And he and Bill Cosby were real close.
Yeah.
If you watch Jerry's documentary, he and Bill Cosby have like a sentimental moment.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Sucked
Seinfeld.
what happened to Cosby. Although he did get out, right?
I mean, yeah, but he's like 70, 80
Yeah.
80 years old.
I think so.
Yeah. I don't know.
Did you ever see the video of Bill Cosby walking out of the courtroom?
Oh, when he did the
He did the little.
no, yeah, I seen it. That was hilarious. Yeah, I mean, that was very funny.
Yeah. But dude, the how-to books with comedy, like the Judy Carter, or I think I have that one too.
Which one is that? Yeah, you do. You got Judy Carter. You got a lot of.
I can't get through that one. That one's
Comedy
more,
Bible. Yeah,
that
this is
one's-
the one that they say
everybody says to read it. I can't get through that one because I'm just like, every time I start reading that stuff, I just think about kind of my own jokes. I'm like, this isn't interesting to me. I'd rather just figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, like I've heard you're supposed to read the Comedy Bible. I've heard that, from numerous comics. I just don't do it. I just don't. And I'm not even like, I love comedy, but I don't even watch a lot of stand up. Like if you
Yeah.
throw a stand up comic's name, I'll be like, I don't know who that is.
Sure.
Now local comics around. Yeah, I know all my
Yeah.
local comics because I go to a lot of the local shows.
Mhm.
I like to watch those people, but like a lot of the big name comics, the writers and stuff like that, I just.
Yeah. You're just doing your own thing.
Yeah, I like because like accidentally, man, what I think you would end up doing is you would accidentally start to mimic that style. This is
Sure.
just me, myself, speaking
Yeah.
from my own experience.
Yeah.
You accidentally mimic that style, because you're like, oh my gosh, I like Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
So next thing you know, you're going, oh my God. You're like, why am I doing this?
She wasn't ready.
Yeah, you're doing it. So.
Was there anybody you mimicked when you first started?
Oh yeah, man. Like when I first started, I had a little Kevin Hart face. Yeah, every black comic did. Like you couldn't help it and that's when I started like chilling and not watching as much, big popular stand up because he's already similar in my style as far as like the energy. We both kind of high energy. He's a lot more higher energy, but so I was like, I got to stay away from watching too much of his stuff.
I'm thinking about this now because I do see the similarity in energy, not in style. Like
yeah,
it's not a mimic at all.
Yeah, but we both are high energy comics. Yeah.
and very confident. And I'm not just trying to butter you up here. But
No,
I'm just trying to think about.
Yeah,
because it had been a while since I'd seen you because you've been on tour with Ginger Billy for a long time, and then I did see you I think 2 weeks ago at
2 weeks
Comedy
ago
Zone.
I came out, when I'm back home, I like to hop up on stage, MC.
Right, in the hosting set, and I was just
Yeah.
reminded of how you go about it versus how other hosts and nothing against any of them.
Yeah.
But when you take the stage, it's kind of like, okay, like you take control. I think you do like a semicircle with the clapping.
Yeah.
And get everybody kind of going, and then
it's all like it's all part of it to get the audience warmed up and let them know, hey, we about to have a comedy show. So even like the clapping, like I remember when I first started doing it, some comics like teased me, it was like, man, you clapping out loud. I was like, yeah, but it gets the audience right from the jump. I pump them. I like to pump the audience up with energy.
Sure.
And that's the whole purpose of doing that when I walk on stage.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like to have a lot of energy too. Even if it's goofy, sometimes I'm insecure about it being like goofy.
Yeah.
Like, am I just the goofy, dorky white guy? Like, is it corny? But like, I don't really know any other way. And it usually ends up relaxing the audience.
That was like this. If you can go to like I would say if you can go to a 10, I can bring the audience to a 10, you know, as far as energy. And let's say at some point in time in the show, I drop down on energy. I'm only dropping you down to a 7.
Right.
If I come up, this is just me, you know, as a high energy comic. If I become there and I'm at a 7 right from the jump and I drop down to a 5 or a 4 on energy, it's hard to pull the audience back up.
Okay.
So
if you start at the 10.
I want to bring them up to a 9 or a 10 right from the jump. And then if I drop down to a 7, that's still very high level of energy. And it's easier to get them back up to a 10.
For sure.
Than starting at a 7 and dropping them down to a 5 or a 4.
Sure.
And I'll try to get them to a 10.
Do you like hosting?
I do. I enjoy it. I do it. I'm good at it. Of course, I like headlining, featuring better.
Yeah.
But like I just embraced being a host, man. And once I embraced it and seeing like watch other people host, and I was like, you know, it's a skill. It's a skill set to it.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, I get up here. It's a skill. It's an art form.
Yeah.
And some people appreciate it, you know. So I enjoy it. I think I'm pretty decent.
You said you embraced it. Was there a time early when you were like, this is different? I don't like how this feels.
Well, yeah, because at first, depending on what comics you hang out with, you know, you were always taught that an MC or a host is not as good a position as the feature or the headliner.
Right.
So you just feel like, oh man, and they would just say, oh, we just put somebody there. No matter who we have to host, let's just get somebody up there.
Right.
The headline and the feature, they're gonna do their job.
Mm-hmm.
But as I started hosting more, people would just like, hey man, you want you to host, do 20, 25 minutes up top. I was like, hey, that's featuring. You know,
that's a lot of time for a host, isn't it?
Yeah. And it was like, well, hey, if this guy don't do good, Brandon, go back up there and do what you do. Get the crowd back into it. And I was like, okay. And I'm looking and I'm noticing other hosts and MCs. I'm like, okay, well, I see now that, you know, every host don't show the same type of effort, or they don't look at it the same way that, you know, I do.
Some people mail it in, do you think?
Yeah.
Not saying any names, but just.
They get up there, man, and they do it like a host or an MC, because the real only job as an MC or a host is just to let the audience know a show is starting.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do. You don't have to be the funniest person there. You just want to get there and get it going. So when I get up there, I really want to put the audience in a mind frame to know, hey, this is a comedy show. Get ready to laugh. It's okay to laugh. Get ready to have a good time. Yeah. You know, my open mics, sometimes I host open mics, I'll actually tell the audience before I get off stage, hey, let's go ahead and get that big goofy laugh out the way. Everybody give me a fake laugh.
Fake laugh, yeah.
Yeah, but it makes them comfortable because, you know, if you've never been to a comedy show, you just watch it on TV, you don't know how to react at a comedy show.
Right.
You may be embarrassed to laugh. You don't look to laugh. Yeah. So you just let them know, hey, man, no, you're supposed to laugh. Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah. So. It's kind of funny because it seems like the people that are good at stand-up, like the better you get, like the more comfortable you are in your own skin on stage and the more confident you are. You forget that audience members, non-comedians, are probably pretty anxious, nervous to laugh type people. A normal person would feel awkward. Oh yeah. And like, you know, the comic can kind of transition some of that comfortability to them maybe. Yeah. And it is, man. Like if you just sit and watch them, they're very you know, uncomfortable, especially like, for example, like I'm on tour right now, you know. And it's dope, absolutely dope. Everything that I could ever dream of. Yeah, I'm going to ask you all about this for sure, dude. I can't wait. Just like that, some of those people, they've never been to a comedy show before. They're coming to see a celebrity. They're not coming to see a comedy show. Right. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's a comedy show. So you have to teach them how to laugh and have a good time at a comedy show. So, and then once you get them going, it's like, oh, this is a comedy show. It's fun though. I enjoy it. So you're on tour with Ginger Billy right now. Yeah, that's my homeboy. Which is awesome. Yeah. So tell me about Ginger Billy's background real quick, and like how you guys met and stuff, and how that. Absolutely, man. Okay, it's real cool, man. Actually, man, like I met him at Comedy Zone. I was at Comedy Zone one day. A lot of people may not know this. If you do, you do. You don't. I was there just actually working the door. You know, I used to get called in sometime. You know, I worked the door. I was there all the time. I still do when I'm not on the road. So I was there working the door. He's a
influencer, YouTuber, however you want to call it.
Yeah. How many followers does Ginger Billy have?
He has 12 to 13 million across all social media platforms.
Holy.
It's insane, man.
Yeah.
Like he literally cannot go anywhere without somebody recognizing him.
And that's how most people know him, right?
Yes.
They don't know him as a stand-up first necessarily.
Nope.
But he has a stand-up act now.
He has a stand-up act. But he
Okay.
is definitely known as the social media guy first.
Got it.
And
yeah.
you know, he's hilarious, man. Like,
Yeah.
like we met. He got on stage, he did his thing. After the show, like I said, I was just working there. I didn't do a set.
Mm-hmm.
After the show, or doing his set, he said he's something about what is it? Lockhart. And that's where I'm from. Lockhart is in Union, South Carolina.
Okay.
So I said, hey man, I go
So
up
you
to
didn't
him.
even perform that night?
No.
Okay, got
no
it.
Perform.
Go ahead.
No
yeah,
perform.
Yep.
So I go up to him. I say, hey man, I heard you say Lockhart, South Carolina. I was like, that's funny. I'm from Union. You only know Lockhart if you're from Union, because where I'm from, real small.
Yeah.
Maybe 4,000 people.
Sure.
You know? He says, yeah, man. And I said, man, you were funny. I said, I'm not trying to be, be a butt, but I didn't know if you were going to be funny or not. I've seen other social media acts come here and they weren't. And Tom Emmons walks by and he says, hey man, Brandon Rainwater is funny too. And
Yeah.
he says, oh man, you're a comic too. I said, yeah man, I do my thing. And Tom walks by again. Tom was like, yeah, he's real funny. Tom
I can picture Tom doing that.
And Tom is always, man, like Tom
keeps it real, dude.
Tom keeps it real, man. If Tom likes you, he likes you. And Tom has always been like, like a little silent mentor. He points, he don't say a lot, but if he likes you, he'll give you a little pointer here and there. And so he said it to Ginger Billy. He was like, man, Brandon's funny. And he says, oh man, you're a comic. He said, we're both from Union. Let's exchange numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So we exchanged numbers. He's like, maybe let's get together and write sometime. And I was like, yeah, man. And again, I don't really write. So I was like, yeah, cool, man. Let's do that. I didn't expect to hear from him because, this guy's got all these followers. Why
Right.
would you,
Right.
I'm figuring he's just saying stuff to say it. I've heard that plenty of times. He shoots me a text about a week later. He says, hey, man, any open mics? Let's hit it tonight. I want to work on some new material.
He shoots you a text?
Yeah. He says, and when I go back on the road, he said, you should come with me. He hasn't even seen me perform yet.
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude. This is just strictly off. We're from the same.
Off of the referral, same city.
And yeah, we're from the same city. And Tom said I was funny. He ain't seen me perform at all. He don't know I could be trash.
Right.
So he comes to the open mic. We're at Coffee on the Ground,
Okay, so that's where you have to work it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I go up, I do my thing, and he's like, yeah, man, you was so funny, man. He said, I can't wait. We got a show coming up, and me and you, we're going to kill it. We go to a show like a month later in Atlanta.
So take me to that Coffee Underground show.
Yeah.
So you're walking into that room knowing Ginger Billy's got 13 million followers.
Yeah.
It could be a big opportunity for you.
Yeah.
But this was recent, right?
Yeah. This
Relatively
was like, I would say maybe two years ago. It was before the pandemic. Before the pandemic. So yeah, about 2 years ago.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's like, I feel like in stand up, these networking things happen, and there's certain sets that you kind of know could be like significant for you.
Yeah.
Like if you picture like a comic who gets asked to be on the Tonight Show, they're like, okay, I'm gonna do a 5-minute set. Yeah. There's a booker there. Like people could see you.
Yeah.
So were you nervous for that set?
No, man. I mean, because like, it was a nice crowd there that night. And I just I went up there, and I did my normal type stuff. I did like 2 or 3 of my good jokes because, I was like, it's a good crowd and I want them to hear some good stuff,
Mm-hmm.
And, I like to think of myself as one of the elite comics in the area. So I want to like, I'm a rep. I'm going to show y'all what we do when we here.
So you had your swag on, you had your confidence.
Yeah, so I did my thing, man. And I came off stage, he's like, oh my gosh, man, you so funny. I can't wait for us to go on tour.
Yeah.
How much time you want to do, yada, yada, yada. Let's
Mm-hmm.
get it. And, ever since then, man, like we've been cool.
Yeah.
That's that simple, man.
What's he like?
Dude, like he is as cool and as humble as a person you can meet, man.
Yeah.
Like if he would talk, like if you had him on the podcast, man, he would probably talk for as long as you let him talk. And I mean, like when we're doing like meet and greet sometimes, like he would talk to those people so long until you're like, hey man, we gotta go to the next person. Because he's a people person, man.
That's great.
Yeah, he's a really legit, like, it never bothers him if a fan comes up for a picture.
Some celebrities are assholes.
Yeah,
and
dude.
Don't.
Like he is as grounded as he can be as far as being grounded, man. He's just a real cool dude, bro.
Yeah.
Real cool.
How did he take off?
Dude, he said he posted a video about Dale Earnhardt Jr., right?
Uh-huh.
And he posted that video and it hit. Boom. So when that video hit, he was like, hey man, this is cool. I got a lot of A lot of people liked it. He's like, okay, so let's do it again. So see if lightning strikes twice. So he did it again, and then he did it again, and he said, okay, cool. This is something I might can do.
Yeah.
And then he said eventually, man, he just got to the point to where he was like, you know what, I'm doing this full time, and he just, you know, went ahead out at it. But like that was it, man. He caught momentum, man. That's why, you know, I tell everybody, man, I'm like, hey, it's not like how it used to be in comedy where you can just, well, all you had to do was just be funny. You know, and, you know, you have to do more than that. And he did the long way. I mean, like a lot of people think he just did on social media, but he toured for like 2 years for another comic and was only doing 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay.
You know, so like he had to, you know, his.
But that's still experience.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
So he had to, you know, he didn't do a lot of the open mics like, you know, a lot of people. He did open mics here and there, but he still had to do the 5 minutes and the 2 years of being with somebody else before he was like, okay.
Right. And
now I'm ready.
If he's touring, he's all different cities and states and geography.
Yeah, man. So you still got to do the work, which is cool, you know.
How many years into comedy are you now?
I'm at like 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah. I would have been longer, but when I first started, I ended up quitting for like 6 years, which is crazy.
6 years.
Yeah.
I remember you mentioning this to me, but go back to that. So like, you started for how long before that 6 years?
I did it like a year and a half. So not really long enough to really like be like, oh my gosh, I'm a comic. I was just doing comedy. I tell people, this is just my theory. I don't feel like you're a comic till you're at least 3 years in it. Before then, you're just doing comedy, and it's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay to be in that under 3 year mark. It's just after 3 years, you've done it a while. You want to know if you've decided if you're gonna stick with it or you're gonna keep moving with it.
Sure.
You're coming to a groove, and then, but before then, it's not like after a year, you don't want to do it no more. You don't even think about not doing it no more. You just stop doing it.
Yeah.
You know, you just, oh, well, I'll go next week. Oh, I don't go.
So did something just happen? It's just like you just put it off 1 week and then just
and I got
happen kind of?
I got a job, man, and the job was paying pretty decent, and it was crazy hours. It was 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. hours. And
that's a killer.
Yeah, it's a killer, man. And I had a place that actually let me have an open mic on the weekends for a while. But like I was so new in it, I was like, man, I don't want to be here every weekend doing comedy.
Yeah.
You know.
That's pretty brutal. If you have a night shift job and you don't and you're only a year and a half in, not sure if you're going to continue. Like
Yep. So when I got back in it, man, I hit up Tom Emmons and Kerry Adams. I hit those two up. And it was like, yeah, man. And Kerry was like, I heard so many things about you. I've been wanting to see your stand up. She's like, I heard you were funny and then you just disappeared. I was like, well, I didn't disappear.
Do you ever regret that hiatus? Because 6 years you'd be at.
Yeah, dude.
13.
Years, man, yeah. Well, I mean, like I kind of a little because I feel like I missed the era of where all you had to do was just be funny. And that reign right there, if you were just funny, a lot of opportunities came to you just for being funny. You know, now being funny just because there's so much content out there on the internet that's not enough anymore. You got to be funny. You got to be engaging. You got to put out content. There's so many things. That come in.
So like, explain that a little bit. Like, I agree with you, but I want to hear exactly what you mean. So like, what's changed now? There's social media is so huge. Yeah. How many followers you have? Yeah. The content you put. So like, in addition to just being funny, like what does it take now? Well, like,
okay, you can. I'm not saying you can't tour. You can't be a comic, successful comic, just by being funny. It depends on what your goals are. You know, if you're a comic and you want to build generational wealth out of comedy, you're not going to be able to do that just by being funny alone. You know, it used to be all you have to do is just, hey, you got on TV once or twice, right? And that was good enough. You know. But being funny will not compete with a guy that's got 15 million followers on social media. You know, because he can sell out a venue. Right. You know, and you can't. You know, if everything is
you could
equal,
be better than him.
Yeah, you could be better than that person.
You can't sell tickets.
You can't sell tickets. Yeah. You know, and at the end of the day, no matter what a venue tell you, they are in it to make money. Right. You can open up for that guy. You may even, you know, come on and do some stuff with him or whatever, you know, but if you want to go out on your own, you're going to eventually have to start doing both of them. And a lot of people don't want to do it, you know, but it just depends on what level you want to be in. Right. If you want to stay as not necessarily local, but if you just want to say, hey, I got a couple clubs that book me, I'm fine with that. I still want to work a regular job too.
Right.
But if you want to say, hey man, I really want to do just comedy and that's it, being funny alone it's not enough anymore. Sure. You gotta be able to bring them something. So you have to be a total package.
Do you enjoy making content outside of stand up?
Oh yeah, I do. I do. It's a different creative juice, a different creative side. Yeah. I didn't always like doing it. A booker told me before, they was like, hey, you need to work on your social media. They was like, I feel like you are talented enough to be doing this professionally. They was like, but you don't post anything on social media. And this was right at the time when social media comics or people who did social media influencers were really starting to take off. And I was like, okay, cool. I would dabble in it once a month, post something, fall off, something, fall off. But now, kind of try to stay pretty on it,
Sure. Yeah, I see you put TikToks out pretty regularly. Yeah, do you have a schedule of content creation you stick to?
Yeah, I try to post at least 2 times a week on most formats.
I think that's a good frequency.
Yeah.
Because I think you can overdo it too.
You can definitely overdo it. Some people have have so big of a following that they don't mind them overdoing it. But I'm right in a nice sweet spot, where I got to be careful. I got them engagement. I don't want to lose them. Because if you go too long without posting anything, it's so many people posting content. Yeah. That, hey, yeah, David, I like you, but I just found 7 other Davids posting similar or close to your type content. You know? Yeah, because I think it was last Sunday. I had a video me and Ginger Billy we did together, and it took fire. Yeah. Long story short, it's got 14 million views.
Holy shit! I didn't see this one.
Yeah, it's 14 million views, man. And I went from 37,000 followers to 108,000 followers.
On TikTok?
No, on Facebook.
On Facebook?
Yeah, I got 100. Wow. Yeah, I went from on TikTok I got 199,000.
Okay.
On Instagram,
I love how you're about the analytics, dude.
Yeah, dude. Because you gotta keep it because it's a number in these bookers' head. Like I get offered stuff now, you know what I mean, and I'm locked in. I'm glad. I'm on tour. I'm not going anywhere. But like when people, it's a different offer that you get when they know that, hey, this guy can actually put people in the seats, even if it's 20 people. Right. They know, hey, that's 20 seats. This guy can put in the seat. So that's all you're doing. You're just saying, hey, I have a following that some people will, will come to and look, Yeah. So it's crazy. Yeah.
I really like social media. I think I mentioned this on a previous interview, but I think it was 5 or 6 years ago when I was living in Atlanta, I got asked, one of my customers was doing social media marketing for a rock band, and all the band members were over 40. So they didn't know how to do social media. And she said, David, could you help us learn social media and promote the rock? The band was good. Yeah, they had their own original album out and stuff. Local talent, I don't know if they're going to be on the cover of Rolling Stone anytime soon, but they needed help with it. And I remember the first time I started to research all the functionality of social media. Oh yeah. At that time, and that was 5 or 6 years ago, I was overwhelmed by it. And at the time, I was just a casual user of it. And I thought, I know social media. I'm a millennial. But there is so much when it comes to how you position things on Snapchat, Instagram, now TikTok, how you treat stories, how you edit videos to keep people's attention. Yeah. Because now people's they're like crackheads, dude. Yeah, they're myself included. I mean, I'm not shitting on the public, but people just their time's valuable. You can get more, and there's a lot of competing things.
Well, all you have to do is just look at it. When YouTube and stuff first came out, videos used to be 20 and 30 minutes. I know
that's true. They used to be so long,
and now TikTok's shorting it down to a minute. Facebook Reels are a minute. Facebook, I'm sorry, it's 30 seconds.
Is it? Okay.
So you got to be funny and get a good point across and engage them in 30 seconds. Right. So, as a stand-up going from, building up a premise, telling a joke, that doesn't, it's a whole different side of thinking and making, you know? So it's just funny, man, just to be able to do it. And all the social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram is very similar. Like if you can work one, usually what works on one works on the other. Yeah. But then TikTok is different. It's different. YouTube is different. that video they got 14 million views on Facebook has like 10,000 on Instagram.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And so it's so different.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So you always got to be trying to find ways to stay engaged and keep your following going. Instagram and YouTube are probably,
and it's evolving daily. Like they'll launch a new feature and you'll be like, holy shit, you can do this now. Like Instagram stories can be longer than 15 seconds now. I just found that out like today.
Yep. Oh yeah, dude. I post stories. And like when I went on tour with Ginger Billy, that's the biggest thing that I learned from him, man. He was like, he's like, dude, you're hilarious. Let's get your following up. He was like, start posting more. Get on it. And like he told it to me, man. And I was like, all right, quit being lazy, Brandon, and go. So I'm watching it. When you see someone else doing it and putting in the work, it makes you more motivated.
Yeah.
And it gets you more because like he's like, hey, I gotta post something today. We need to post something. And I'm watching.
It's nice to have that nudge creatively because it's not a bad thing.
No,
like
not
it
at all.
forces you into an idea mode. You're like, okay.
And it's just like, okay, I'm like, man, this dude is like always thinking of stuff, always posting. He's posting a story, and I'm like, okay,
yeah,
cool. I'm lacking. Let me get better at it.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite stories about Seinfeld. Not to get back to that exactly.
No.
But you know how I that's my favorite show. In fact, that Lego thing.
Oh yeah,
that's Jerry's apartment.
Oh yeah,
I'm so just show how freaking obsessed I am with this.
No, Seinfeld is a very cool show, man. I watch Seinfeld because what I like about Seinfeld, if I were to be in a show, I would like to be something like Seinfeld because I think a lot of that stuff they gave them a premise and let them go with a premise. You know, so and me with my
it was written by stand-ups too. Larry and Jerry are stand-ups.
Yeah, so it just let them go.
It's all about the joke.
Yeah, let them come in and they just follow something down a rabbit hole and make it funny, like the soup. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not that funny, but it becomes funny because they dig so deep into it. Like why you guys so worried about the soup?
For sure.
Crazy, man.
But when it came to what the content they were obligated to produce, like when the show got booked after the pilot, and the NBC came to Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld and were like, all right, we need 6 episodes for this initial season. Larry David about had a heart attack. He's like, how am I going to come up with these ideas in this deadline? Like, I got to post this week, like Ginger Billy. Like, and that pressure of like, I got to do this forced them into making these really wacky, crazy, cool shows. Like, because some people, like if you just have an open-ended deadline, you might never get to it.
Nope.
You know, if you don't hold yourself accountable to a schedule, you might never.
You have to, man. I mean, like before I came today, that's what I was doing. I was shooting a video. I was making a video, and I'll probably release it later on this week. I have another one that I'm going to post tonight, but release the other one later on once I get it finished edited. You know, and like now I just got my page, monetized, which
Hell yeah, dude. What's that look like? So this is your Facebook page?
My Facebook and my Instagram are monetized now.
Okay.
Okay. And
I didn't know those could be monetized.
Yep. Videos have to be at least 3 minutes long.
Okay.
And it can be monetized. And see, and that's a different side of being able to, be funny and be rewarded with it. Because once it's monetized, you get paid for that.
Right.
So
YouTube monetization, I'm a little more familiar with. How does Instagram monetization work? So at least 3 minutes, and then you get paid based on how long people
commercials and stuff in there.
Oh, okay.
And how long people watch. Okay. So if they watch for 10 seconds, it's this amount. They watch for 30 seconds, this amount. They watch for a minute, this amount. They watch the whole 3-minute video, it's this amount. So you want to keep them. So that's why if you ever watch these guys that have those 3-minute videos, just listen to how they're talking. They may go in detail, but you may see stuff going on. And all this is because they want to keep you engaged. Right. Because they keep you engaged, is better for them. Sure. So like I made my first 3-minute video. It was pretty good. So now what was the subject matter of that one? It was a grandson waking up his granddad and like it kind of like dressed up in all white, and it scared the granddad.
Oh, I saw that one.
Yeah, it scared him a little bit. So.
You know what? I gotta watch that one. Yeah. I think I was at a show or something, and I couldn't play the audio, but I saw you dressed up as a crab.
Yeah, dude. So it's a different mindset, man, because you got to engage them and you got to say. Yeah. So the plan is to post one of those like maybe once every 2 weeks. Not crazy, but then I'll post my regular stuff. To keep people. Sure. Engaged and happy. So
you thought about starting a podcast?
I did, man. I actually was in works with somebody. I did a little bit of it before I went on tour. I got a podcast. It's pretty cool. It's called Let Me Tell It.
Oh shit! I didn't even know this. I'm sorry. I haven't checked.
No,
it
you're
out.
good. You're good. It's called Let Me Tell It. I haven't put anything out yet, but pretty much.
Okay, so it's the framework. You haven't.
Oh, I've shot some. I've shot some of it. You know, we just haven't put it out yet.
Oh, you haven't put it out yet. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it's pretty cool, man. It's and I told him if I did a podcast, I wanted mine to be different from, or as different to me as anyone else. And mine is what I do is I bring people up and they tell me a funny story, and then after you tell me the funny story, I say, okay, that's when I say let me tell it, and then I take your story and I tell the same story.
I like
and
it.
I say, hey, now from now on, do you want to tell your story how you told it, or do you want to tell it the way that I just showed you to tell it? So that's why the whole thing is called Let Me Tell It. So it's like they come up and they tell a story, and regardless of what it is, I say, okay, cool. So in that little bit of time while you're telling, I'm taking it in, and I'm like, all right, I got it. Then I'll retell your story.
I like it.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a cool idea.
Yeah.
I like podcasting a lot.
Yeah.
It's fun. I felt really weird about starting one early on, and
but no, that's another platform. Once you get enough followers and stuff on podcasts, same thing. You upload your stuff on everything, right?
Yeah. So the podcast goes live every Monday. There's an Instagram post with the cover of the guest, and then I upload it via Anchor. So then Anchor pushes it out to Spotify, Apple, Google, all the podcast audio platforms, and then I'll upload the video to YouTube. And they all have the same description with links to the guest, and then in the middle of the week, so like tonight I'll have to edit a clip, but I'll edit. I whittled it down to one clip per week because any more than that was too much work for me to be able to sustain it.
Yeah.
But I'll do one clip where like a funny moment in the interview, 60 seconds or less.
Yeah.
And it'll be edited and captioned, and then I'll do one of those a week. So one post and then a clip.
Yeah, that's good.
And then I'm starting to try and do some other funny stuff, maybe videos to supplement that. But
do it, man. The easiest way to get into it, of course, you want to do all of it, but the easiest thing to get into it and give your audience something to do and look for it is stories.
Okay.
Just start doing stories because the stories, you don't have to be trying to make content. You just have to be saying something,
like telling stories.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like the Instagram stories.
Instagram stories.
Instagram
stories.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah, so you just get on there and just, hey man, what's up, man? Look, look who just walked in. I got Brandon finna do this podcast. Y'all see all my nice podcast equipment? And people like, oh, that's cool. We got podcast stuff.
Okay, I need to be doing more of that then.
Yeah, and like, oh man, look, I got you can sign for thing. I know I'm not the only Seinfeld fan. Y'all see this right here. So people get in there and they want to see it.
See, I do need to do more of that. I do have content on my Instagram story for the podcast, but it's mostly like really funny memes I come across or funny videos that may not be mine, but I just repost in between when I'm putting out content from the podcast. But that's a good idea to have like, because reposting somebody else's memes and stuff is I just enjoy that. But like,
well, no, and
it would be fun to show like behind the scenes, like.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, there's nothing wrong with posting memes. Keep doing that too. I mean, do whatever you do. But I'm saying like this, when people always ask me now, and I'm like, by no means am I acting like I'm a pro at it or nothing. This is stuff that I'm still learning.
And and that's valuable to know for sure.
Yeah, but like the easiest way to get engagement, man, is to just, and to where you don't feel like you're overwhelmed and trying to like come up with content, is just post stories. You walking down the street, something cool happened. You're like, well, it was just something simple. I was going to go to the gas station, but I don't know if I want to pay, $4 for some gas. So, so you walk on.
Sure.
I mean, just looking around your apartment, man, I probably got like 10 things I can make a story about. And it won't be nothing bad, like I see.
No, my place is turned into an Applebee's, dude.
Yeah, but see, like even that, it's like, boom, just people be like, oh man, that's funny. Yeah. And it just connects you with people a different way, man.
For sure.
And people like to be connected.
Yeah. That's great, man. I'm just already thinking of ideas. Do you use Twitter?
Yeah, I do a little bit, man. Not as much as I probably should. Here's the thing, man. Once you get out there, there's always people who don't use something. So you have to have everything. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to have everything. Like I have Twitter, I got YouTube. I never really posted a lot on YouTube. But now, as I've been on tour, it's people who just use YouTube. So I was like, okay.
You got to put it there too then.
I got to put it here now too.
Right. Which isn't that much extra work. You already made the video.
I've already made the video. You just got to take one more step and put it on there. And like, okay, I was like, I don't really use Twitter, but then I've been noticing trickle in people on my Twitter accounts. Okay, cool. So you don't got to get crazy on Twitter, but let's try to post, something on there 2 times a day.
Yeah.
And it don't have
like
to
a
be,
funny thought, maybe.
Yeah, just a funny thought. And here's the thing, man. Everything doesn't have to be dropped down the funniest thing you ever wrote when you're posting something.
Yeah.
When you write something on Twitter, when you post something in your stories, you want to make it connect with them.
Yeah.
And if it connects with them, and then if I posted something the other day about going to Dollar Tree, I was like, boy, I love going to Dollar Tree. This is a story. I was like, this is my story.
I saw that one. Yeah.
I posted the thing about to make ribs, right? And I posted it being funny because it was nasty. Dude's got 500,000 views. You know what I'm saying?
Was that a reel?
Yeah, I posted a reel.
Yeah.
I posted a reel, and it's got 500,000 views. But that's what people connected with it. And they were like, "Oh man, the ribs are nasty. They are so nasty." And I was like, "Man, I wasn't even trying to."
Dude, food sells, man. Food content, food jokes.
It does.
I have a new joke about boiled peanuts, and I was just trying it out, and I was shocked at how well it does in this area.
Well, it connects with people.
Yeah, because they know about it. I was like, these are gross to me, then I just talk about thoughts about it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's
connect with them, man. You got it.
Yeah. I remember you had some what was the restaurant you went off on recently? Was it Arby's? Arby's? You hate Arby's?
Yeah. Here's the thing.
What was the beef about Arby's?
Here's the thing. Okay, so on tour, man, we travel a lot at night. So I'll either come to his house or he comes to my house. We'll leave at 5 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so another thing about Ginger Billy, this dude eats every 2 hours.
Right.
He eats. He's one of those guys. He works out a lot, so he eats.
Yeah, he's ripped, dude.
Yeah,
he
works out a lot, man. So every 2 hours on the eat. So I get in the car. I won't eat until I won't eat until again my dinner until we get in the car because I know we're gonna stop.
Uh-huh.
So you wait about 7 o'clock. We'll eat somewhere. Then again, about you got a 14-hour ride around by 11 o'clock. You're hungry again.
Yeah.
So you pull into the Love's gas station because it's a gas station. Or you pull into a gas station and what's there? Boom! It's always Arby's.
Yeah.
So you don't want to eat there all the time, but you eat there because it's the only thing that's open, man.
Yeah.
So man, I'm going in there and I'm like, bro, I can't believe it's Arby's again. So I'm posting it about it and people are loving it. It was like, Brandon, man, you at Arby's again? Go to Arby's. I was like, bro, I hate Arby's, but it's the only thing that's always open and it's right off the interstate.
Yeah.
So you gotta go. It's
dude,
convenient.
I kind of love Arby's. I haven't had it in a while, but I used to crush it, dude. After football games. My mom would be like, "What do you want, David?" And I'd be like, "I want Arby's."
But I don't even know who's keeping Arby's in business like that. It's never. You ever go to Arby's and I gotta wait in line. This Arby's is packed. No,
not often.
No.
But the thing I think about is the restaurant I think about that for is Hardee's.
Dude,
I've seen Hardee's. It looks like a bomb went off. Like what is it? Like it's like a shack. Like they haven't renovated it in years.
Dude.
And I saw a new Hardee's recently. And I was like, they're making new ones. I didn't know. Why would you make new ones? I thought they were just gonna wait for the buildings to fall down.
Dude, I used to have jokes about Hardee's, man. I don't use it as much now, but I had jokes about Hardee's taking my kids that are eating and disappoint them because no one's ever you've never ever been riding down the road and ooh, Hardee's, pull in. You've never done that.
Yeah.
You've never heard anybody, you've never been driving down the interstate and you've never heard anybody hey, where you guys want to eat? Oh, what's on that sign? Oh, it's got a Taco Bell, Chick-fil-A, and a Hardee's. Oh, you say Hardee's? Let's go. It don't happen, bro. Dude, I've never wanted Hardee's.
Yeah, is that a joke you have about the favorite kid goes to the better restaurant?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, and I used to put Hardee's in there sometimes, man. It's because no one likes Hardee's, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you eat there, but it's not.
Yeah.
No.
I lived in Green Bay for a while, and that's where I first developed a love of Hardee's. There were people up there love to eat. They're a chubby town up there, the Green Bay.
Dude.
No offense to them.
No, I was in Green Bay and I didn't even.
Oh, you did a show in Green Bay?
Yeah, I was up there, man.
Which
was up there?
What venue?
Well, we do theaters most of the time. So
okay. Do you remember the name of the theater? It's been a long time since I lived there, but
no, we did a theater there. So I was
it's like the Widener Center at UWGB.
I did go there. We did go there.
I lived. So I used to live right by that campus.
Yeah.
University of Wisconsin Green Bay when I was first grade through middle
Really?
school. Yeah. We would walk on that campus and run around as kids and just get into trouble in the summers.
So cool.
Yeah.
Dude, and I was probably, I think it was maybe about 10 or 15 minutes from Green Bay Stadium. And it was
nice people, right?
Yeah, dude. It was an away game. They had an away game because we were like, dude, is there any way we can possibly just go tailgate,
Yeah.
Because we went to, I went to a Missouri college game because when you're there, you know, it's,
Yeah, dude.
you know, I was like, let's do it.
You're free during the day too.
Yeah, let's go do it, man.
Dude,
It's fun.
if you do another round of tours up in Green Bay, you gotta.
Oh,
if you can make it work, you have to, dude.
Yeah, man. And see, and that's the thing right now. People are like, man, I know you guys are checking out all these places. I was like, I don't know if you guys know what being on tour means, but like, it depends on who you're on tour and how you're on tour. Like with us, how we were booked is like we'd do a show, and then the next day our show is 4 hours away.
Yeah.
So you drive 4 hours. You see what I'm saying? So you check out the hotel at 12.
Right.
You drive 4 hours to the next location. Your show is at like 7 or something. So you get
maybe
there,
take a quick nap or shower.
well, we go work out because he likes to work out.
Okay.
So we go eat, work out, then boom, it's almost showtime. Do that show, go to bed, wake up, rinse and repeat.
So you may not have time to check out all the tourist attractions.
And like when it was a little warmer, it was easier too, you know. But now it's getting cool. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a good couple months, man. And January is super packed. So
Oh yeah, where you headed in January?
man, everywhere. We go to California and a couple other places, but we got like I looked at the schedule and we got pretty much like a show pretty much about every day, man. We take off, we go hit out, come back for like Monday and Tuesday, and head back out.
How does it feel being on this wave of like, because this is a shakeup from what your routine was, I'd imagine, before you got on this, and like I'm just thinking about a lot of us newer comedians, like newer comics. I kind of have a routine of the mics I go to, I work, I try to get ready, but the stage time you get is 5 to 10 maybe, at these smaller mics, and then to go from that to you're on stage every weekend for 30, 40 minutes, like in a different city, like. What does that feel like? I mean, you've been doing that for a few months now.
Yeah, and like here's the thing, dude. Like we're doing shows Tuesday through Sunday, so it's not like we're just coming up on the weekend. Like we're leaving out.
Well, does it feel like a snowball effect? Because like the more stage time you get, the better you get. No matter what.
Oh yeah.
Because you're seeing more stuff.
Oh yeah, dude. You're getting better. Like I'm constantly redoing my jokes. Not even because I didn't need to be redone, just because you're like, hey. I thought of this while I was doing this. Hey, this works good. Now I'm taking this out. Now this goes well with this. Okay, now this hits hard.
And you're probably doing it so much that idea doesn't scare you. Changing stuff for a booked big show is no big deal because you're doing so many of them.
Yeah.
Is that
no? And you get the comfort level that you get from being over there so many days is the same comfort level you get from doing so many mics.
Yeah.
So after a while, you're just so comfortable that it doesn't matter because you're like, hey, I know you guys are gonna laugh right here.
Right.
Regardless. So, and if it's this new thing, you don't laugh.
Yeah.
You're going to laugh here.
Yeah.
Because I know it's funny,
Yeah.
So and they always laugh because I'm funny. I'm hilarious, right?
I don't want to bring up a sore subject, but when was the last time you bombed?
Dude, like, honestly, I've only, like, really bombed once in Atlanta. Other than that, man, I've been pretty solid about not bombing. And that's the biggest reason why, and that was about probably like 7-8 years ago. But the biggest reason why I don't bomb because I am true about how much time I can do.
Okay.
And I always undershot my time.
Mm-hmm.
So that kept me out of situations to where I could bomb.
Okay.
Because if somebody would say, hey man, when I had a good 10 minutes, somebody said, how much time can you do? I got 7.
Mm-hmm.
So those other 3 minutes, is one of these minutes don't work, I can pull them in.
Right.
So compared to
under promise, over deliver kind of deal.
Yeah, that's it. So if I say I got 10 minutes and you say, cool, well, can you stretch it to 15 or 12? Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah.
And 3 of those minutes don't hit.
Sure.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
Because most comics, I'm not saying all, most comics don't come up bombing right from go. It's usually after your first minute or two. And you got, you have the audience at first, and then after that minute or so, you go and you start bombing. And I got a quick recovery time. Like I said, this is not bragging, but one of my gifts is that I can read a crowd pretty decent.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that all that in the back, so that's
in the back of your mind, like yeah.
I'm reading the crowd, I'm thinking a couple steps ahead. So, but the biggest thing that helped me from bombing is that I always, whatever time I can do, like, how much time I have and how much time I do is usually different. I was like, hey man, how much time can you do right now? Man, let's just do 45. Can I do an hour? I got a good solid funny hour now.
Right.
But out of that, I really have about, 90 minutes worth of material.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
But so if somebody say, hey, can you do 90 minutes? I'm like, nah, I'll do an hour for you.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll bring someone else in to do that other. Because now, if anything were to happen in that hour, you know, they don't like this joke. They don't like that joke. As soon as I see them not liking it, I can switch it out, pull something else in there.
Right.
Compared to doing the 90, and I got to do every joke I got.
Yeah, and pray to God none of it doesn't.
And pray it all hits. And it all may hit, but the one time it don't. Like you and I were talking earlier, that's how you make your success rate higher at being funny. Is, you know, that's another way to do it. You know, a lot of comics I hear saying, oh, I got 45 minutes. Oh, I got an hour. Oh, I can headline already. Oh, I can do this and that. And I'm like, man, that's impressive. Because it took me 3 years to get 20 minutes.
Right.
You know, and, you know, it took me 3 years before I had 25 minutes. I was just kept saying, I got 15.
Like 25
good
ass
it took
minutes.
Me, and I had it, but I would undersell. I was like, nah, I got a good 15.
Yeah.
And someone told me that, and I can't remember who, but I was like, nah, I got a good 15.
Yeah.
And it keeps you from bombing.
For sure. You know, it's weird how, like, it's been a while since you've been this new, but, like, I think of, like, what I consider to be a good 5 changes. Like, the longer I get, the more I'm like, okay, what I thought 3 months ago was good is now shitty. Maybe not. Maybe the jokes are still, there's something there, but it's like, this isn't dense enough in terms of the punches to say that's actually 5 minutes anymore. It's not.
No, and see, well, it's I know, like, from the first when I first started saying I had 45 minutes, and I first started getting the opportunity to do those longer sets. Maybe 12 minutes of that made it out. You know. Okay. 12
the
minutes,
rest is crowd work?
No, I'm saying out of that 45 minutes, I've only kept 12 minutes of that has made it to where I'm at now.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. You only kept 12 minutes from that time you started doing 45.
From like 3 years ago, for me doing 45 minutes from then to me doing that 45 minutes to an hour now, maybe 12 minutes out of that 45 minutes when I was hitting 45 minutes then has made it out to now.
Yeah.
So you just eventually, you know, you get better stuff. Now this 45 minutes that I have now is so good, you know, that, you know, and I still add stuff to it, and I'm still dropping stuff.
Do you ever have a joke where you kind of put it to the side and you're like, I don't like that anymore, and then you revisit it a lot later and you're like, wait, that joke was good.
Yeah.
I just needed some tweaking, and I actually really like that joke, and then you bring it back up to the front again. You ever done that?
Yeah, I got a couple of jokes like that, and the thing is too is like it goes back to like you know, you think about it and that joke's good, but then it goes back to, okay, well, if I got this joke can be good another time, I know that joke's good, and it goes with, most jokes go with something else. You know what I mean? It's like having a meal. You know what I mean? Like you want your seasoning to go with as well as your drink, and you know your beverage, and as well as your utensils. Okay, so when you when you're doing your set, okay, and let's say, like I said, this joke don't hit, but they like this joke. Oh, this joke right here is very similar to that, and it can go with that.
Right.
So that joke,
they're all about the same topic, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, this is about family, and this is another family.
So let me
joke.
pull this joke out.
Yeah.
You know, so it ain't that the joke is trash. It's just that, hey, I've changed my lineup. So yeah, you'll pull that joke back out sometimes.
Sure.
It's like, oh,
or maybe now you know how to make it work.
Make it even better. Yeah.
Because back then how you did it, but now you know how to position. Yeah. Because
like we're gonna have to we're gonna use the sets that we have now. We're gonna use them for a year and a half, maybe 2 years, maybe. And when we come back around in a year, he said, hey, we're going to do all new sets. So it's jokes that I haven't even done that are funny.
Yeah.
Like I don't even do, you know my dog joke?
Remind me.
Okay, well, you know the one where I'm like, you know, take my kid to the dentist or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Well, either way, it's a joke that I built.
Okay.
And it's like a 15-minute joke. What I mean, like it got so many different parts in it.
Yeah.
And I built it up. Well, anyway, it's one of a joke that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm always got to use this joke. But I got other good stuff, and it's a very solid, funny joke. But I don't need to take that 15 minutes and put it in here with this 30 to 45 that I'm using.
Right. Because
I can take that 15 minutes and build a whole nother set around it.
Okay.
Because it's so strong. So why, you know, I'm like, that's strong already.
Right.
This right here is what I got is strong. Mm-hmm. I can use that for later on. So it's good once you know, to be able to do that, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you this. When you... after this year and a half, when you're done and you're going to start with a new, would you ever record a special?
Yeah.
And self-produce one?
Yeah. I mean, like, I will, you know, once this set is, you know, done or whatever. But I want to record one too when I feel like people want it. You know
That's
what I mean?
good, yeah.
You know, and that's like I said, these are all my views, all my ideas. This is not to knock anyone who have already done specials or anything. Just in my head, I'm like, I don't want to do one until I know like people actually want to listen to it. I don't care if it's just 150 people. But if I put it out there, I don't want to just be putting a special out there who only Brandon's going to listen to.
Yeah.
You know, I want to put it out there and like people like, yo, man.
That's a really wise comment, I think.
Like, hey, Brandon's got a special out. You know, like where other comics want to say, hey, man, Brandon's back this week. He's got a show. Let's go see Brandon. You know, his special was pretty cool too. I listened to it. Yeah, I heard that joke, but it's cool to listen to his special too. So, yeah.
It's kind of that same idea of, tell them you can do 10 when you really have 15. Like make sure your special when it's ready is good. Jam packed. And by that time you've done enough work to where it's just like nudging it over the edge and people want to see it. It's tempting to think about doing specials and stuff because a lot of comics are producing their own. Like you remember Mark Normand who came here and Shane Gillis. These are guys I follow that are kind of newer and I say newer. I mean they've been doing stand up probably 10, 12 years, but
they have followings that want to see them.
Correct.
Like
they're
Mark
absolutely
Norman,
at a critical mass. So
if Mark Norman puts out that, people are going to want to watch. You know, if the following that Ginger Billy has right now, he's working on a lot of cool things. People would want to see his special. Yeah. That's one of the things that we have to make sure when we edit shows that no one's recording it because he is shooting for that. And I'm fortunate that he wants me to be a part of it.
Right.
So like. When I'm ready for my special, and
you want to make sure people want to see it. That's
I want to have enough people who want to see it than just doing it. Like now, I can put out the best special in the world, but if no one knows about you and no one wants to see it, what's good is it going to do?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
I'd watch it.
Yeah. But like say, man, like if you were to put one out, I would watch it because like I'm a fan. Well, I'm a fan of you, and I want to see what it is.
I appreciate it. I'm not even thinking about that.
But you know what I'm saying? Like I've seen a lot of local comics. Like I love local comedy. I like to see how people grow and make jokes. But like, a special is definitely coming. It's definitely coming. Just not right now. I'm probably still unless something that we kind of got going on pops off soon, but I'm still I set goals, man. I'm probably still about 2 years away from it,
Okay.
Yeah, I set myself 10-year goal to be on tour. I made it in 7, which is awesome,
Yeah.
So
this is really helpful too. Okay, so when you started back after that 6-year hiatus, you said in 10 years I want to be touring. Yeah, and you hit that at 7.
Yeah, because I read like I've only read. It sounds funny. As even said, I read one book, and it was called Outliers. Outliers.
Malcolm Gladwell? Yeah. I haven't read it, but I know the book.
It's a good book, man. Especially you being an athlete and all that stuff, you'll enjoy it. What I took out of that book, it says that in 10 years, no matter what you're doing, if you do anything for 10 years, you'll be an expert in it. Okay. Your mind will work differently. You'll be able to think about stuff and reason with it and react to it faster than anyone who hasn't have at least 10 years experience in doing whatever it is. And I was a mechanic at this time, and like people would ask me and stuff like, man, how do you think of that? And I'm like, I don't know, it just makes sense to do that. Yeah. So I took the same thing. It was 10 years, 10,000 hours, whichever comes first. Yeah. So I took the same approach to comedy. I was like, okay, in 10 years, I will be as sharp as I'm going to be or getting, close to that level. So does it
kind of plateau after 10 years? Is that the idea, just or is that's like
well, it's saying after 10 years you're going to be as sharp as you're still going to go up, but at 10 years you should be there. You should be able to see jokes. You should be able to pull it out and write and whatever you're doing at a different level than when you were doing before. Right. Things just work different with you then. And so a comic told me before, he was like, hey man, just stay on the mic. So I continue to hit a bunch of mics. I was doing 3 to 4 open mics a week, and I was trying to speed my 10,000 hours up,
Did you actually count the stage time?
No, I don't. I didn't. I know a lot of people do that.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I just try to go to as many as I can.
Go to as many as you can. Yeah. And when I wasn't going to mics to do shows, I was going to mics just to watch. I would spend a lot of time at Comedy Zone in Greenville, man. I would show up on Thursdays when they used to just book it. You used to have to be booked on Thursdays.
Really?
Like booked. So I would just show up on a Thursday, not on there, just show up,
Mm-hmm.
watch the show. Sometimes they're like, hey, you want to go up?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but like a lot of opportunities came just from being there.
Yeah.
Like that. So I was always just kept
Sure.
wanting to be around comedy, man. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
10 years, 10,000 hours, man. I
Yeah.
always say.
So you set your goals in that time frame. So
I set my
you
goals in
set
that
on
time
tour 10 years. So
Yep.
what are your next goals in terms of comedy?
I want to be able, of course, I want to be able to do a Netflix special. Will be
Netflix
dope.
special.
Yeah, Netflix special. Is the next goal. I used to want to be on Dry Bar, but nothing against Dry Bar, but like I see a lot of people doing Dry Bar now, and I'm saying, okay, cool. Dry Bar seems to be a little more attainable now, you know.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, cool.
So you want to set your sights higher?
I want to set my sights higher.
Yeah.
You know, so I want to push myself to maybe get a Netflix special, and you know, I wanted to get my goal before this was to be able to get 50,000 followers on social media. You know, and like I said, I'm fortunate right now. I got 108,000 followers right now on Facebook. And the reason why you want them on Facebook, you want them on everything, but the reason why I want them on Facebook because Facebook sells tickets.
Okay.
You know, a lot of
Like
people
in Facebook, you can buy the
a lot
ticket.
of people sell. A lot of businesses operate through Facebook.
Yeah.
And they sell their ticket links and do all of it on Facebook.
Yeah.
So I was like,
there's
wow.
no separate page it goes to. It's on
Yeah, it's on Facebook. So I was
Yeah.
like, why not build a following on there and go from there?
So you're following on there. You have a comedy page, Brandon Rainwater Comedy.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Um.
And you know, like I said, each you know, I don't knock anybody else's goals or dreams, but like my whole thing is like I believe that I'm talented in comedy. It's something that everyone can't do. You know, and that's something that going to open mics let me realize too, that like it made me realize that comedy was a talent and I wasn't just funny. You know, like there's a lot of people that make it to an NBA, but everybody is not LeBron, everybody's not Jordan, everyone's not, you know, things like that.
It's a combination of the natural ability and then the work
And the push and want it.
and the business side
Yeah,
too.
you got to want it, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's comics that started with me who just as funny as I am, you know, and I'm like, hey, but they don't want to do what I'm doing. They didn't want to go to all the open mics. You know what I mean? They could just show up. Yeah, and when we just show up, you were funny, but you're not putting your face out there, so people don't know you. So they don't know to book you. How they know to book you? They don't see you. You know, you're not showing up at the clubs, sitting in the back running the DJ booth just to run. Like I used to just run the DJ booth.
Yeah.
And not even to get stage time. I'm just back there running the DJ booth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, I'm like, yo, I'm a comic and I'm just back here and, you know, and then it eventually changes to other stuff. It was like, hey, Brandon's always here. You want to host sometimes, Brandon?
Yeah, sure.
You're funny? Sure. So, you know, just put yourself in a position to do stuff if possible. Yeah,
So you're really goal oriented.
yeah, man. I mean, you got to be in order to succeed, man. I found out once I started setting goals in this, like in regular life and in comedy, that it didn't stress me out as much, and then it kind of like, you know, made you say, okay, I'm doing okay. This is all right. And I know a lot of comics want to be at that 10-year mark in 2 and 3 years, and sometimes you get fortunate and you are, but at the same time, if you are there earlier, just know that whatever you're doing, you're there early.
Yeah.
So
and you may encounter things you're not necessarily ready for.
Well, even that, like if you hit some place that you're supposed to be at in 10 years and 7 years, and then so realistically, then me getting a special or whatever is not what's supposed to happen to year 12 or 13.
Yeah.
So I can't be looking for that in year 8.
Right.
Because I'm early.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you go to if they say, hey man, we're gonna show the movie. The movie shows at 7:00. You show up to the movie at 6:00. It's good. You're there. But you gotta wait till your next thing to come.
Yeah.
So you know, like you gotta know it, have patience, and know that it's still gonna come.
Yeah.
Just not be there at the same time. You know.
Yeah. I'm really goal oriented in other areas of my life. You know, work wise. I set goal like at the beginning of the year. Comedy, for whatever reason, I've yet to set goals, and I think it's just because comedy to me was really hard to start doing. I felt very insecure, a lot of self-doubt about ever putting anything out, just because I had spent I'd never been creative before,
right,
where it was my own thing.
Absolutely.
You know, so I felt doubt about that. So I've shied away some from the you know, the very concrete goals like you're talking about.
Yeah.
I want to start putting, because, well, part of it too is when you're so new to it, it's almost to me, it didn't seem that worthwhile to have crazy goals out of the gate.
Yeah.
You just want to do it and have fun. But
and your goals out of the gate don't got to be crazy. Like, I remember mine was just like, okay, I want to be able to do a good 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where it started.
Then it went from there to, okay, I want to do 7. It's a hell because you can do 7, you can do 10. You can do 7, you can do 10. And okay, when I got 10, I was like, okay, cool. Then come year 3, I was like, okay, cool. I want to start getting paid for every third show I do. You know what I'm saying? I was 3 years before I'm not saying I didn't get paid before then, but it was 3 years in before I felt like, hey, I'm funny enough all the time to where I feel like I should get paid, you know? Right. But I even set a goal then. I'm going to get paid every 3 shows, you know? Right. So you set those goals so it keeps you calm and it keeps you focused and it also makes you stick
and it keeps you level-headed because to me, stand-up is very emotional. Like when I was new, like you have, and it's starting to get better to where hopefully, I mean, I still bomb, but hopefully my shows are getting to where they're pretty consistent. And I can live with my performance. I'm either cool with it or I'm really happy. I don't want to have a lot of these lows, but like when you have that emotion in it, it's like you can kind of be down in the dumps for a while. Yeah. Versus when you have the goal, kind of be like, okay, well, I'm in a 10-year cycle here, so I don't need to hate myself for this one.
And that's what I'm saying, bro. Like if you do that, it's a couple of things. Like I said, this is just speaking for me. If you set yourself the goals and you undershoot your time, you will increase your funny because you have, you know, if you honestly got 15 minutes and you say, yeah, man, I'll do 10. And you say, hey, look, I'm going to do 10, but if I'm rolling good, can I go to 12? And most people are not going to say nothing. And, you know, if you're rolling good and the crowd is going good on everything and this joke that was only supposed to be, you know, 10 seconds, now you can stretch it on out to 15 seconds because they're laughing so hard. Yeah. You know, so you just, you know, it's some things you can do to kind of help yourself, man, you know. Yeah.
So when you were early on, did you ever have a period of like self-doubt where you're like, I don't know if I'm funny. No, I don't know if I can do this.
No, man, because like I've always been able to do crowd work. Okay. So crowd work gives you a false security also of being a comic. You know what I mean? I'm just speaking of like, because if you can do crowd work, you can get past some awkward situations with the crowd. Right. So if I don't got to have as funny jokes because can make you laugh off of just talking with you. Right. Like, man, what you mean you drinking that? What you doing? You know, so it's laughing. so it's laughing right there, you know. So like I was fortunate enough to do that I always been able to do improv off of a joke, you know, do crowd work pretty good. So like my first couple, you know, times I was doing shows, it was majority crowd work. Going to a little open mic in Anderson, South Carolina, Mellow Mushroom, and they're saying, hey, Brandon, we want you to come down here and feature. We want to come down here and headline. And this place normally on the, you know, every now and then have a good crowd. Most of the time it was the same 5 people. Yeah. So you can't crowd work the same 5 people. Right. So it forced me to learn how to put jokes together. Okay. So
because it's the same people. You're like you did this. You know, you made fun of my drink last week.
Yeah, I made fun of your drink before. You know, even though it's different, I made fun of your drink. I've asked you where you work at before. Right. So now I got to take that and I got to say, okay, how can I take this little bit of crowd work that I'm doing, turn that crowd work into a joke, and from that crowd work lead into another joke. Right. You know, so that's what I did. I turned my crowd work, you know, and because I still do crowd work, you know, but I've turned my crowd work into a joke, and my joke seemed like a crowd work. And then once I got you warmed up and you feeling like you and I are best pals because that's what
established rapport.
I've done that. Now you're okay with waiting and taking this ride to get to a joke.
Sure. Or you can maybe get away with an edgier joke that you couldn't have gotten away with at the open. Yeah, I've had to learn that. Sometimes I'll write edgy jokes. Yeah, if you open with it. Oh yeah, I still like edgy jokes because I think it's funny. So I like to still do them.
Yeah, you can, but if you do them too early, it's like it's like in anything else, man. You do it too early, they're like,
and I don't like you anymore.
I don't like you anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have fun with it, dude. But like I have my own theories and my own way of I like to work out my sets and stuff, and it works for me, and that's not for it may work for some people. That's why I always tell people like, hey, this is my flow, this is my theory, this is how I feel.
Do you ever get nervous before shows?
I do sometimes, you know, but like that's a good thing. I feel like that's a good thing because getting nervous about it is like showing that you still like it, you're still passionate about it, you still worry about it.
Yeah.
In a good way. Mm-hmm. So like, no matter how comfortable I am, I still be like, whew.
Yeah.
All right, let's get it.
Yeah.
And then once I hit that stage, I get that first laugh.
For sure. By the way, do you have a hard out or anything? When you got to be out of here?
No, I'm good, dude. I don't. As long as I'm done before 7:30, I'm good. Yeah. I'm good.
Okay, cool. I just want to keep an eye on the clock in case.
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Okay, cool. So, the self-doubt thing, I have that a lot.
Yeah.
So, I think it's just a matter of
getting out your own way.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I spent so much time like trying to people please my whole freaking life. I was the biggest suck up in class. Like I was like, teacher's pet.
Yeah.
I had a social life too, but like,
no,
I still was like, I gotta get straight. I gotta do this. I gotta meet this. So as soon as I'm like a little bit below that, I'm like, oh,
yep.
I hate myself.
Yep.
And in comedy, it's all about failure, like trying a new joke and failing and then getting back and getting stronger and getting better. So I'm battling that psychology, but
Well, see, and that's the thing too. Like, with comedy, man, like you'll get to the point to where like you'll know how quick to maneuver, and it's hard to maneuver away from a joke when you're only doing a 5-minute set. Sometimes it's harder. It's harder, but you got to recognize it. The faster you can recognize, okay, they're not feeling a joke, and shift to another joke or shift out of it. Sometimes I have a joke, and it may be, you've heard rule of 3, where it's got, I'm going to say 3 things that's funny.
Yeah.
But like the audience laughs really hard at the first thing, and they laugh a little bit at the second thing. There's no need to go to the third one.
Right.
Because it's wore out. It served its purpose.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. So then
I might have been like, oh crap, I'll get them with the third one. But if they're already lost,
they're already going down. Yeah, because it doesn't mean
that's a really helpful thing to know.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And that's what I said. This is what I do. It doesn't mean that it's nobody's book.
No. I think it's helpful.
Yeah. So if I'm telling a joke and I get them hard with it, boom, boom, they're laughing at it, and I'm doing the rule of 3. I hit 1, I hit 2, and the first one they laugh real hard at. The second one they go, ah. Okay, no need to do the third one. I'm going to this next joke. Okay, and then with that next joke, at some point in time, if you got a good set, whether it's 5 minutes, 2 minutes, or 3 minutes, an hour, whatever, at some point in time, you're gonna catch them back up, and they're gonna laugh hard at everything, and then you can stretch something out longer.
Okay.
So if they're laughing hard at a joke, don't run away from it.
Right.
I always tell comics to watch all comics. Watch. And I hate to just because if you look at it like a comic like Dave Chappelle or a comic like Kevin Hart operates different than the Mark Norman, Jerry Seinfeld, stuff like that. Comics with a lot of energy compared to a comic that just stands there and hold the mic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. What Dave Chappelle does, I'm sorry, Kevin Hart. And I do this sometimes too, and it's a dope way to get extra laughs. They'll tell a joke, right? Act out the joke they just told you about, then describe what they just acted out and done. So you get 3 laughs off of one punchline. Okay, let's say I'm like, boy, David always been here wearing glasses. Y'all have been like, look, David got glasses on, like, look at his glasses, they all smart. So I just said the same thing 3 times.
You said it 3 times. You acted out yeah.
But I've done it 3 different ways.
Yeah.
And the whole time it gets a different reaction. So the audience is going with it, they're laughing. And it's one joke. So I've just took, David got on glasses, y'all, and getting a laugh off of that to the body. David got on glasses. Look at him. He all sitting over there like, with glasses on his face. So look at him, dog. You can't tell me David don't be sitting there like, hey, everybody, I'm David. Look at these glasses. So y'all see what I did? I had his glasses on. So I did the joke. You know what I'm saying? I acted out the joke. Then I talked about the act out.
Right.
So I just took something and made it longer.
That was all in 15 seconds too. That wasn't even like, when you described that, I was like, oh, this is going to take a while. No, you just did it real boom, boom, boom.
So that's how you can take something and make it longer. So like if you were doing
so you're saying you do that when you're rolling, like you were saying?
Oh, dude, when I'm rolling, I would instantly, when I'm going and I'm rolling and they hit, I'll take something and I can stretch it out for 3 to 5 minutes and hint it in different ways in different areas, and then go on with that joke, go off to another joke from there, and then tie back into that joke later on if something hits with it.
Sure.
Well, like I was at a Comedy Zone one day and I was back at a Ginger Billy show and I did this joke about CBD oil, and it wasn't even a joke. It was crowd work.
Yeah.
Talking about CBD oil and everybody.
I remember this joke. I was in the audience that night. There was the old guy.
Yeah.
Right? And he was talking about CBD and you were going into the differences of weed and CBD.
Yeah, dude. But like that hit so hard that night that people kept writing on my wall saying, Brandon, do this, Brandon, CBD oil. And then comments was asking me like, Brandon, I got to hear the CBD oil joke. I was like, it's not a joke. It was a riff that turned into a joke.
Is it a bit now?
I can use it sometimes. I use it sometimes because I can take it. Once I got it, I say, okay, I remember this. I can take this and make it into a joke. You know, and then here's the thing too. You know, when you roll it and you hit it like that, you can go to so many. So in my mind, what I'm doing then, they're laughing because I'm riffing or crowd work a joke or whatever just hit. So I'm thinking, what else do I have that's somewhere similar to this bass? Anything that you got that's somewhere similar to that.
Right.
You know, okay, because like, let's say like I'm talking about your glasses, right? I'm picking at your glasses. So from that makes people think about, you know, somebody that can't see, or they think about older people or something right there. All those things connect with glasses, right? So
right. So you can go into your act and pick out a joke
that goes with that.
Yeah.
So the first thing about glasses, like I said, think about somebody can't see, or you think about older person. So now I'm gonna tell a joke about my granddad.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking about glasses, and glasses sometimes make you think about older people wearing glasses. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm talking about my granddad, and I'm like, boom, 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 and I'm telling a joke about my granddad, and I'm like, yeah, and he had the nerve to tell me, don't park there, talking about, don't park there with his glasses. But don't look at me through your glass. Look at me through the top of your glasses. And so now you already got them from something that wasn't even intended to be.
And it seems
funny.
Natural because it's in the room.
It's in the room. So you want to get them.
Segue.
Yeah.
It's like,
so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to pull from here. I'm going to go with this. Now I'm hearing that. So now, and if you're comfortable with your set, that's what you can do. Yeah. You can jump around in your set and say, okay, this joke was not supposed to come to right here. Yeah. But I want to pull this. Yeah. And then eventually, after doing that a while, you'll get that set up to where everything is going to everything's going to maximize from where it's set up at. Yeah. And it's going to flow and it's going to be maximized. So you end up moving some things around and just like, okay, this is it now. Yeah. You know.
Norm Macdonald said that too, I think.
Oh,
he had said he had over the years built up, you know, however many hours of material he has. So when he goes up, he doesn't even necessarily have a plan.
Nope.
He just knows he can go in any direction. He basically felt like, you know, he had jokes on any subject that could possibly arise. So he could just, that reminded me of what you just said there.
And it's the same thing, man. And that's why people ask me sometimes like, man, you know what you're going to say? I'm like, kind of, sort of.
Dude, would you say something like that? That freaks me out. The planner in my head is like, and I do like to riff, you know. Yeah. I love when I am brave enough to do it. Yeah. Because it'll work. It's fine.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, why were you so scared to deviate from your plan?
Right.
But, you know, that's just how I feel as a year
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay. When you do riff or whatever, and like I said, different comics feel different ways about riffing and not riffing. Let's say like when you do riff, right? Okay, and you got another joke that you know they hit, right? Okay, let's say you start riffing and you get a couple of chuckles and it dies down quicker than what you thought. No big deal. Go into your jokes that you know they work.
Right.
Now I'm just in my set. Yeah. It's no big deal. Yeah. I told this joke. I did the thing about your glasses. They laughed. Now I'm talking to you about my granddad because I only had 5 seconds of that.
Right.
I'm back to my material.
Yeah, it's just no big deal.
No big deal. Go to your material now.
Yeah.
So it's the way to look at it. At least
for sure. All the stuff is making sense. It's just So the Greenville scene. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about like where it is today versus when you started versus like where you'd like to see it go? I mean, it's cool now. Like I feel like there's activity now. There's a lot of real young comics like me and like the younger ones that just started. Yeah. And there's different like there's kind of like the alt comics, as I would call it. You know, there's the Adam Schultes, the Craig Holcombs, the Travises, and then there's like the comedy scene, the Comedy Zone.
Yep. It's different scenes.
Everybody plays nice, I think, but like there's activity. I think it's I love it. Obviously, I'm a junkie, but like, how do you feel about the local Greenville scene? And
I like the comedy scene. I want it to be I want it to grow more, of course. I want our senior comics to take the lead a little more in it. More mentors, push themselves more as well. Like I said, I don't want the senior comics just to stay still and just happy with doing stuff in Greenville, happy with just driving to Asheville every now and then, I'm not saying everybody wants to go on tour or nothing like that, but like, are you just doing comedy to be a comic, or do you want to be a comedian? And
your definition there is a pro that's trying to
someone who wants to be a pro, someone who wants to be scribing, to be able to put your voice out there in front of people and to do it,
and that wants to level up beyond.
And that doesn't mean you want to go out here and do. I'm not saying you're not a comic if you're not doing HBO and that's like that. But I'm just saying, like, if you only hitting the stage on an open mic that you do, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You're never trying to see and scratch yourself to see how much better you can get, And then just say, okay, cool. I just want to be a producer. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do comedy every now and then because that's cool. Mm-hmm. But like, we got a lot of people who've been doing comedy a long time that could be some good mentors, man, and I just want to see more mentors come out. I just want to see more mentors. We got a good comedy scene. Yeah, and,
we do need more mentors.
We need more mentors, man.
We don't know what the hell we're doing.
Well, see, and so like, and what happens is, what happens is, a lot of our new comics want to fast pace themselves. Not you. You seem to be very cool with kind of like, hey, I'm getting there.
I don't want to ask for anything ever.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Like, I didn't even realize it was like I gave off a vibe. Like, I kind of hate that I did. But Jada was like, hey man, a lot of people are scared to ask you something because they look at you like, yo, Brandon's doing this, and I was like, but I will always talk to you about comedy as long as I know you are serious about it. Yeah. I don't care if if you funny as heck, if you're the funniest person out there, or you're just somebody just starting. It doesn't matter to me all I want to, because I'm going to ask you before I waste my time. I was like, are you wanting to be a comic, or are you somebody who wants to do comedy? Mm-hmm. Because to me, those are two different things. Mm-hmm. If you just want to do comedy so you can go to work and say, guess what I did last night, y'all? Come on out sometime.
You just want to put it on your Facebook profile.
That's fine. That's cool. You are happy with doing a show every now and then. But if you're saying, hey, Brandon, I want to be a comic. Mm-hmm. I like it. I want this to be something to where, hey, I can build it up. I got a good 30 minutes. I do a showcase every now and then. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Hey, I can go to, 2 states over and do a show every now and then. What's up? Mm-hmm. Let's talk. Sure. Let's get it.
Yeah. And by talk to me if you're serious, that kind of means are you working too? You showing up?
Are you showing up? Are you hitting mics? And then another thing that a lot of people be like, everyone wants to be booked, and I get that. Being booked is good. I was fortunate that, when I came in, a lot of comments was going out. And like I said, I had a good 5 minutes because I could do crowd work. So they helped me get booked on a lot of shows for being able to do that. But like, if you work on being funny, everything else will fall in place. Mm-hmm. Work on being funny and showing up to mics. Mm-hmm. That'll get you booked. Mm-hmm. But you got to do both. Yeah. You can't just show up to mics and not be funny. Yeah. Because like, you're not going to get booked if you're not funny. Do you really want to be booked if you're not funny?
You don't want to be booked if you're not funny.
Right. But a lot of people do. Would you want a doctor to work on you who's not a good doctor? You know what I'm saying? So it's like people get upset, like, well, I don't understand why I'm not getting booked. Well, I'm going to start my own venue and start doing shows. I was like, okay. I told one of my good friends before he first started doing comedy, he was like, man, no one's booking me, man. I'm going to start my own rooms. I said, hey, if no one else is booking you, maybe you're not ready yet. Yeah. It doesn't mean you're not funny.
That's not not personal. Yeah. That's not said being mean.
Because if you're funny, you get opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a merit system for sure. And it's pretty cut and dry. Yeah. Like the laugh. Like you can delude yourself a little. I try to be honest in assessing myself. It's really hard. Sometimes you feel like it went better than it did. Sometimes you feel like it worse than it did. But like, I try to record and go back to like I know you've given that advice. Too,
record it, and the crowd will normally tell you. Not necessarily like, okay, let's say you're in the audience and they don't know how to act or whatever. They're not laughing or whatever. But after the show, they come up to you and everyone come up to you. Hey man, good set.
Yeah.
Hey man, that was funny. Then you can tell you like, okay, cool. You guys didn't like to show emotions, but you enjoyed the show. Sure. Good.
Sure.
And you can go with it. You know, but it's just, you know, like I said, get back to the Greenville comedy scene, man. It's like, you know, here's the thing. I feel like in every city, every comedy scene, it's a place where all comics need to push to get that stage on that stage. And in Greenville, and not just saying it because I have something to do with it, I think Comedy Zone is that stage, or it should be that stage.
Yeah.
You know, so everything should be getting you better to say, hey, I want an opportunity. And when you get there to come to Comedy Zone, like I was telling people, every opportunity I've got came from Comedy Zone.
Yeah.
You know, being on radio, being in movies, being on tour, it all came from Comedy Zone.
Yeah.
It wasn't from nothing else. So I'm like, so why wouldn't you treat this like that? So when you at the and a lot of people in the area don't want to push to the one areas that can help them the most. No one's is coming.
People want to stay away from Comedy Zone.
Yeah, they want to
stay.
Some
people.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I'm like, why would you like stay away from it? You know, you can say what you want to say, and then that's why I come into question like, hey, you're staying completely away from the club that as a comic you should want to be pushing to.
Sure. I mean I agree with that.
Like, Comedy Zone,
because I know, like, beneath the surface, and I don't have to talk about any of it. There might be politics that I don't know about that are like years old or whatever. Yeah. But to me, if you just take a step back, it's like it's all about stage time. And if you just look at the stage, it is easily just based purely on location and what Greenville is. And the fact that celebrity comics come through on the weekends. I don't care who's running. I don't care who's.
Yeah. It's the prime best.
You would want it. That's the best stage in the state. I know people that come to Comedy Zone on Thursdays from Atlanta.
Right. They drive out here just because.
Even Addie living in Atlanta, you know, they got great mics. They got Laughing Skull and stuff, which is cool. But a lot of their shows are bar shows. And there's guys that have been doing it 10 years that are not, you know, they're still having to do those bar shows. And they'll drive 2.5 hours to do a Jokes Out Loud show. And so I'm with you, man. Not that I have no idea what other context there is around why people may not want to. Well, maybe there's valid reasons, but like,
well, I think a lot of just like people just like you enjoy doing your spots and your spots. Everybody's spot is important, you know.
But life's too short if there's like.
Well, see, I don't know if it's anything no more than just like, hey, you know, I think some of the vets, they're like, okay, I don't have time I can't push 4 nights out doing comedy. So this is my room. This is my night. I'm going to push this night. I'm in there.
Like they would get too tired doing more than that.
Well, yeah, they can't. They got other responsibilities that go on. So they're like, hey, I'm wrapped in on this night with mine. And so that's enough for me. You know, I know come and say, hey, I can only do Monday. Cool. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is at some point in time, if you're running a mic successfully and you have over 5 or 6 years, it's no reason why you shouldn't be going to the premier place in that area.
Yeah, because it would help everything.
It helps you. It helps other comics there. It helps do whatever.
Yeah, it would help the show because better comics it's a better in between there. The new ones.
Yeah, it's a better comic.
It's like a better show now. Yeah. And then people are talking about it and shit.
There'd be no reason, no way why I wouldn't be there. And that's why I hit them all. You know, I was hitting them all. You know, like I don't care if it's a good mic.
Yeah,
I go to it. You know, before. When we was on tour, and then we was spending more time in areas, we'll get there like a day early. That's the first thing I would do. Open mics in the area.
Yeah.
I would go to an open mic. And he was like, man, you going to open mic? I'm like, yeah. He's like, this is dope, bro. I said, I want to see what their mic scene is. Mm-hmm. And I want to prove that, hey, I don't know who your top comics here, but I'm funny as they are, if not funnier.
And it helps you for the show, too. You get a vibe for what it's going to...
Oh, dude. It's dope.
Not the same crowd, but, you know, you get a vibe for like what the local feels like.
Well, as a comic, man, at least for me, like, I'm cocky. I want to be... I like to see comics that's funny. And like, if a comic is funnier than me, and I've seen comics that's funnier than me, you know what I mean? You know, numerous times like anybody. And I see them killing up, and I was like, dang it. I see you. Next time I see you though, buddy, I'm gonna have some new jokes because you just, man, the laughs you getting right now, those should be my laughs.
Yeah.
Next time I see you though, I got something for you.
So you don't get insecure about it. You just get competitive.
Oh,
That's a healthy reaction.
Yeah.
I've heard of some comics that'll be like, I actually just heard about this at, have you ever been to Myrtle Beach? What's it called?
Carolina Comedy?
Yeah.
I've been out there a couple times. Those are cool people.
Yeah, dude. I have the show tomorrow there. I made it to the finals of the competition, so I'm pretty excited.
Oh, cool.
I didn't even know it was a competition, but
cool.
So I got a little drive. But yeah, there was the host there. I forget his name. Older guy, little heavier set.
Yeah, I know. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
He killed. Because he went on after the contestants last week and just murdered.
Yeah.
And apparently they told me that guy, sometimes the feature comics come in or the headliners and they say, dude, could you not kill that hard? Because I don't know if I could follow that. They'll be like, dude, tone it down.
That's crazy. Yeah, which is crazy, man. And like me, like I hear some people say that, but like I'm not toning it.
I don't see you being a guy and be like, oh no, I can't. Yeah, I'm afraid.
I can tell you, okay, Scooter Fowler,
dude.
Okay, that's my boy. Me and Scooter been in comedy a long time. Used to constantly run across each other in competitions, right? I booked him on the show. We was at Comedy Zone, and we had like 2 people go before. Scooter was featuring. I was headlining it, and Scooter killed it so hard. And I'm sitting in the back, and I'm like, okay, cool. I always start high. I say, okay, cool. All right, I'm coming out tonight. Instead of doing this joke, I'm hitting 10 minutes of crowd work first because his jokes. Scooter's a good writer, so his jokes was hitting so hard.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, cool. But I didn't see it as a bad thing. He killed it. So when I got up there, I said, in my head, I'm like, you thought he was funny.
Yeah.
I got to be just as funny as he is.
Yeah.
Because I'm closing the show down.
Yeah.
I'm competitive. So yeah, I went up there, I did my thing, killed it too. And so, and like happened with my show I got at the winery, the brewery, same thing. I brought a comic down from Charlotte, Ray Money. He got up there, man. And
I've met Ray Money before.
He killed it for about 20 minutes. So I got up there, I was like, all right, cool.
I think I was at that show.
Yeah.
Did I open for that one?
Yeah, you opened.
That was Ray Money because I remember.
Yeah. So I got the same thing. I was like, cool.
I had to leave. I didn't see his set.
Yeah.
I had a date. I had to leave right away.
Dope.
But
hey, that's way more important. A date is way more important. Don't even worry about that.
Yeah.
If I can go on a date, if I can go on a date instead of doing some comedy, it'll be hard not to choose a date.
Yeah. So Ray killed and you had to follow that?
Oh yeah. And I was like, all right, cool, man. Ray up here killing. I'm finna get up here and kill. So yeah, I know some people. I've heard that, but I've also heard, from a headliner that she had a feature killing so many times that she told the comedy club, like, hey, this guy is not a feature. He's a headliner. Bump him up. Get him out of our way. In a good way.
Yeah.
Because she was like, he is too funny, he's like, he comes out here and murder, and I'm coming out here, I'm doing my thing. She's like, but this guy does not need to be,
Dude, that's kind of cool. It's a good thing. It's a theme that's come up a few times is like under promise, over deliver. It's like when somebody gets to the next thing, it's because it's like a pot boiling over. It's like you're ready. Like it happens.
Yeah.
Whether you get booked, whether it's when you do your special, like. No,
and like it's the same thing though. Like when I was I've been like getting booked as a feature at Comedy Zone for a while now. I started off as a host. First time it was just pure because right person, right location type thing. They called me. I'm sorry, sent the emails like, hey, how good is your 20 minutes? I said, I think it's pretty good. And they said, cool. You're gonna open the night for Dick Gregory then. He said he needs a feature. And I'm here. So, but when they did that, but anyways, like recently, maybe like a year, 2 years ago, I was doing a show for Comedy Zone in Charlotte, not at the Comedy Zone, at another one of their venues they have. And Joel Pace was there, and he was watching me perform. He hadn't seen me perform, but a couple times.
Joel Pace.
He's one of the Comedy Zone's bookers, scouts, and all that. So he does he's a good person though. Kind of like Tom. Like if he likes you, he likes you. If he don't like you, he don't like you. Cool, but cool. Cool guy. But anyway, so he's there, and I perform. I do my thing. He come off stage. He's like, "Bruh, you are a headliner." He's like, "What you did is headliner stuff." He said, "You kept the crowd the whole time, and you laughed the whole time." But this is after they've been booking me for 4 years
Yeah.
So like I tell you, like everything takes time. I've been in my head. I thought I've been ready.
Right.
I might have been, but you got to get the right opportunity. That people got to see you.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't want to wait and do that. Like I said, you set your goals and just be calm with it.
Sure. I love it, dude.
Got to, bro. Like I said, man, we got to get you back and get you right, man. I told you. You next up, man. We got a couple good comics in the area, man. I'm excited to see, what's going on next, man. And another thing that we have with our comedy scene here in Green was like a lot of comics when they get good, they move.
Yeah, I was going to ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of debates about that. Like if you listen to comedy podcasts enough, you talk about, okay, you got to move to that next big city. I was thinking about this, and I wanted to ask you specifically about the Greenville market because Austin is a hot one people talk about right now because Joe Rogan moved there. Mm-hmm. But if you look at the population of Austin, I think it's only like 2 million, 2 to 3 maybe. Not huge. And I looked up Greenville's metro population. If you count Spartanburg, Anderson, and Greenville, it's about 1 million and growing.
Yep.
A lot. So I think your answer to this is stick around longer than maybe you think you need to. Yeah. But is that like how do you feel about when to move to a bigger market and when not to?
Well, see, it's kind of like the similar thing. Like if you want to move and you have some opportunities there and you can move and something, go by all means go ahead. But before when people was telling people to move, it was because you didn't have a way to reach those people. Mm-hmm. Like the only way to reach Joe Rogan, the only way to reach the guys in LA, the only way to reach a talent agency was to go out there and them see you. Mm-hmm. But what does the internet do for you now?
You can get anywhere.
So if you can your base, you can do the same thing from your living room from here in Greenville. Mm-hmm. Majority from what you can do over there. Mm-hmm. Now I'm not saying don't go out there and try and do it sometimes. Go out there, but you don't have to move to be successful in entertainment anymore. Right. You don't have to. Right. You can sit right from your backyard and kill it and do it. Right. Now if you want to go out there and you say if Joe Rogan says, hey, I'm having a contest, I'm going to see who the best podcast / comic are, then go out there, shoot your shot. But going out there and just hitting open mics and killing it, unless you're something special. And you
don't want to get seen too early either. I feel like you don't want to get exposed. Yeah. Because then it'll take you twice as long to win those people over.
That's the other thing about asking for an opportunity that you're not ready for too soon. Yeah. You go out there, you get an opportunity that you're not ready for. And
that guy pissed out his leg.
Yeah, dude. Now you're in trouble. And that happens to people. They get an opportunity, you're not ready for it, and they're not circling back around bringing you back. Right. You're done for it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I mean, like, before I went on tour, and this tour kicked off, I was going to go to LA. I was going to go every 2 months and stay a month.
So you had a plan?
Yeah.
About LA. Yeah. So why was LA attractive to you at the time?
Only because, like I said, I was told by numerous people to come out there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you had a built-in kind of seeds to a network.
Yeah. It wasn't like I just said, hey, I need to go out there. Couple comics came, well-known, famous comics came, and they was like, hey, man, where are you from? It's like your style, the way you dress, the way you on stage does not say Greenville, South Carolina. I was like, where are you from? I was like, I'm from here, bro. Like, I'm even from a smaller town, know? Right. And it was like, if you come to LA, I got some mics and stuff for you. It's like, man, I'm not going to say that, you're going to get signed right out the gate. It's like, but man, you got something. Like, I feel like you need to come out there. Yeah. So I was going to go, and I actually did go. I went and stayed like 3 weeks out there and did some mics and did some stuff. And, well, that was my plan. But that was only after I heard numerous times that, hey, come out here, stay a month, come back. Come out here, stay a month, go back.
From people asking it.
Yeah, from people telling me, hey, you need to be out there. I wasn't going to go out there on my own and just say, I hope I can make it. Yeah. Most people who move to these places with the hope they can make it have been told they got the talent to make it. Yeah. They're not the people who don't got the talent and not getting booked and saying, I need to go out here and do it. Right. So if you got the talent and people are telling you to go do it, then take a shot. Go out there. And if you also can do the other thing, if you got the talent and just haven't hit yet, stay here. Keep building your foundation. Because the other thing about this comedy scene that I wish we would do better in is that we are not all on the same page about who is the top comics. Okay. And I'm not saying, okay, oh, you should say Scooter's the funniest. Oh, you should say David Bakker's the funniest. Nothing like that. I'm saying like they would say a name and be like, this dude's only been doing comedy a year. Why are you saying his name? You know, like be on the same page as a group to say and push those people forward as a group. You don't got to come to my room, but if you're like, hey man, I need an energetic comic, man, you know, that can do an older blah 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 crowd. I'm like, okay, you want an energetic comic? Okay, Craig Holcomb's very energetic. You know, Jazz Gill very energetic. You know, and so I start naming names. You know, but those people, I hate when I hear people say, oh well, such because that's their buddy. Like, no, be real. Yeah, because it only hurts your comedy scene.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so keep it real.
Yeah, like, be real with it.
Because there's a little bit of like being nice.
Yeah, because there's your buddy. And like
and there's some of that always.
Yeah,
relationships matter, but also there should be an objective, real assessment.
If you go to Columbia, South Carolina, and ask who are some of the top comics there, you're going to hear the same 3 or 4 names. That's what I like about Columbia. They do that with their comedy scene. If you go to Charlotte, it's a little bit more, but you can say a couple names in Charlotte, and people say, "Oh, I know this name. Oh, I know that name. Oh, I know that name." I'm pretty sure it's the same in Atlanta. You come to Greenville, which don't have near as much as population as they do, and you say, "Hey, who the top comics?" Depending on who you're asking, you're going to hear different names,
right?
And you might not even hear the same 10 names. You know, you can be like, "Okay, well, this person said this person, this person, this," and it's not a real. I'm just saying, just be honest. It's probably about. In this comedy scene, it's probably about 6 comics right now that's different from the rest of the comics. You know, maybe 7. And I'm not even thinking of anybody in mind. So it's not like I'm thinking of a 7. No, I'm not thinking of a 7. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just throwing a number out. You know.
Sure. Yeah.
So out of those 7, let's just say, let's say for giggles, it's 3 in each major mic that we got. You know, we got the mic on Monday, we got the mic on Wednesday, we got the mic on Thursday. And let's say it's 3, so let's say it's 9.
Yeah.
You know, but it won't even be those 9. It want to be those 3. You know, from those places. It'd be some random guy. Oh, blah 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 blah.
Does that question get asked a lot? With I mean, the people you talk to are probably different. Like, what's going on in Greenville, man? Is there any?
It doesn't get asked by the people in the comedy scene. It gets asked by people who are trying to find out about the comedy.
That's what I'm saying. So those people ask, and there's not a clear answer, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
It's like this is a hodgepodge of like quirky, you know.
Yeah, they just say a name. Like if Greenville News were to come down and say and go, if Greenville News were to come down here and go pull up to our mic on Monday and say, hey, who's the top comics? And then when they're gonna look around the room, oh, it's my boy right here. He's super funny. You guys got a book. You ever be tagged into a post where they say, tag a funny comic in the area, right? And then you look on there, and then like I look on there and I get tagged, and I'm like, cool, thank you guys. And I'm looking and I'm scrolling, I see names. I'm like, I've never heard of this person. Doesn't mean they're not funny,
right?
But like, I don't feel like you're doing comedy to the level that you need to be doing if no one out of those 9 who are the top 9 comics from each one of those mics don't know of you. Right. You know, but it's just so random, man. I don't know.
Yeah. A little bit of a hodgepodge.
It is. It's random. Yeah. That's the only thing that I want. I want Greenville to be like, no, hey, these people are funny. These are your funny people. And then when you do that, then when you go off and you say it, when they say you go there and you do a show in Atlanta. I'm just using this as an example. You go do a show in Atlanta. Atlanta say, dang, boy, you funny. And then you say, okay, cool. I'm going to send David down there. And David's like, hey, David, how'd you hear about my mic? Well, Brandon told me. Oh, Brandon sent you? Yeah. Okay, cool. And David go down there, he killed. And David come back, and David sent somebody funny. And then what starts to spread is everybody in Greenville is funny.
Yeah.
So then it gets good. Then that spreads to other places. But you know them comings in Greenville, fire, boy.
Yeah.
And then instead of, okay, David goes and kill it. David sends me down there. I'm not ready, but I'm your homeboy. You send me down there, I stink it up. Then I send somebody who a little bit better than me, but they don't do well. So next time they can say, hey, somebody from Greenville coming in.
Yeah.
Last couple people from Greenville, boy.
Yeah.
It's whack.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. That could blow up the whole.
Yeah, I just want a good comedy scene, man. I want a good, funny comedy scene where everyone is trying to be funny. And if you're not, your main intention is not to be funny when you get on stage, then don't get on stage.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't mean
keeping it real, bro.
Yeah, I'm just what I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to always be funny. I'm saying like your intention when you get on stage should to be funny.
Yeah,
should be funny.
And you're working on shit.
You're working on being funny.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm not saying if you ain't got a funny joke every time you get. No, your intention when you get on that stage should be I want to make people laugh.
Yeah,
that's it. Be funny and everything else will work out.
Yeah, I like that, bro.
That's it.
Well, that's been a question that I've asked other comics on here.
Yep.
I had Travis Thubbin on.
Yep, he's a cool guy.
I love Travis.
Yep.
I mean, I think he's hilarious. I think I asked him this, but do you think the scene is too friendly? Too okay? You know, we'll laugh at them because they're our friend. These mics, you get like kind of a versus the keeping it real aspect, and there might be some of that.
Well, I don't think that is too real, too nice, too friendly. Yeah. I think it's the bigger issue is that like, okay, like how you mentioned, you got the alternative comics, then you got the main, I don't know if you're gonna say mainstream, then you got the comics that do
club scene, more mainstream. Yeah.
Or mainstream.
Comedy Zone. Yeah.
Okay. The bottom line is that if you're an alternate comic or you're a mainstream comic, funny is funny. Can your funny cross over across? Does everyone think it's funny? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And if everyone doesn't think it's funny, then you're not doing it the right way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people, and a lot of people think that, you know, mainstream comics, you know, alternate comics, they think that, okay, well, I'm not trying to be alternate, so it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to be mainstream, so it doesn't matter. I'm like, yeah, that's fine, but at the end of the day, you should be funny to everyone. Because I can be dropped into a group anywhere, and I want to write jokes that's going to go over everyone. So, like, I don't think that it's too much of necessarily friendly. I think, like, that those comics from whichever scene stick so tight to those scenes that they only write jokes that works for that scene.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple of things going on too in terms of like the real young comics. Everybody's real supportive and goes to all the mics, and you know that's a healthy thing in a way. But I think you also want to have some keep it real shit. Like you know, are we getting better? Are we actually writing and getting?
Have you ever? And like I've looked at flyers and I've had bookers send flyers. Some of my friends that book shows, and I told them I would not go to that show.
Yeah.
I said I said you got a bunch of comics on there.
Right.
So you're going to put that out, represent yourself as a comedy. You've convinced this bar, this venue, this club to let you come in and do comedy.
Right.
And you've brought you and 3 of your whack friends to do comedy.
Yeah.
Now, when someone goes there who can do comedy and says, hey, man, I know you guys do a comedy night sometimes. You want to do it again? Oh, no. Didn't work out well.
Right.
Whether the guys, for whatever reason. So if you're going to do that, book one of your friends. Cool. But look at that show and just think, be real. Don't just book people because, like you said, you want to be friendly because they're from the scene that you're from. Say to yourself, hey, is this going to put on a good show that anyone can walk in and say, you know what?
Yeah.
That was a good show. That was funny. Where else do you guys do stand up at?
Right.
You know,
you want it to be undeniable.
Yeah.
Before you put yourself out there.
Yeah, you want to be fun. Yeah, because like let's say out of four comics, I say I say you want to build up a point system of I always say 10. So you want to be that show of 10. So what do you grade this comic at on 1 to 10? So at the end of that day, that show make this scale out to a 10. So you can't have. You know, you got 4 comments. All of them can't. You know what I'm saying?
Be threes.
Yeah. Because it's gonna be real sucky.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you got a 3, you got a 7 right there. Okay. Cool. You got this one guy that can be a 7. Sometimes he's a 10. Cool. Mm-hmm. Okay. You got a good show now.
Yeah.
Okay. You got a good show now.
Right.
Now, but when you got a flyer and you look on there, you got a bunch of 4s.
Yeah.
Sometimes he can hit a 5.
Yeah.
You know, if the crowd really likes him, if it's his crowd, and you're like, So that's what I'm saying. Like, so you're giving the comedy scene a bad representation. You giving the comedy scene a bad rep because you chose to book yourself and book other people instead of booking a good show and really providing some authentic good comedy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another lesson about like
Yeah. It ain't to each his own,
exposure
man.
that's too soon.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, like you can put an okay comic on a show that got 3 sevens on it.
Right.
It's not going to matter. Mm-hmm. Not in the bad way. Like he's not going to he or she is not going to.
It's not going to torpedo the show.
It's not.
No.
They're going to get up there and they're going to do okay. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You put them in the right spot. You stay them in the right spot of the show, so it goes well. But if you got, and that's another thing. Like I didn't understand this when I first started doing shows. People would always put me on the show early. They say, "Hey man, you funny. You gonna get the crowd ready for the show." I'm like, "Yo man, but I'm funny. Put me like second or third. Why I gotta go to first?" It's like because you're good at letting the crowd know it's a good show about to happen. Right. So they want to stick around a little bit past that. Yeah. So if you put 2 3s up there, would you wait for the 10?
No.
You know what I'm saying? If you've never been to a comedy show before, this is your first comedy show. The host didn't do anything but just talk.
I mean, as a comic, I would have no patience for that either. Like if I was just seeing it, I was like, this is
it's a train wreck.
This is this is borderline disrespectful to the audience.
It is. It's a train wreck, dude. So what people normally do, they hear it and they say, you know what, I gotta go.
Yeah. We already, attention spans we already talked about. Like,
yep. And you got to go. So I don't know. I mean, that's my biggest, gripe with the, this comedy scene. I just think like, and every comedy scene might deal with it. I can't see every comedy scene. I don't know every comedy scene. But I'm like, hey guys, everyone should have the ability. I want everyone to have the ability to be on some shows.
Yeah.
But also, be on shows that helps you also. So if you're a 4, you don't need to be on a show with 5 other 4s. Because it's going to be a bad experience for everybody. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be a good show. So if you're a 4, be on the show. Say, just look at the flyers and stuff. Sometimes say, hey man, you know what? None of us is really ready to be on a showcase all together. We might shouldn't do this. Just say to yourself, hey man, let me hold off. Hey, I can't do this one. Book me on the next one. Who you got on this one? Ask. Hey, I've asked. Hey, who all on this show? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm in. Mm-hmm. I'm in. I already told her, hey man, you want to be on this one? All on it. Besides me. Or I ask now, can I pick who on the show with me?
Yeah.
Because I want to know. I want to pick somebody. I'll pick my own. If we need to be a 5, let me pick my own 4 or 5.
Right.
Because the 4 or 5 that I can pick, sometimes he hits and he goes to a 7.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the lowest he going to be is a 4 or 5.
Right.
And he hits to go to a 7 and he hit to a 7 that night.
Yeah.
Oh man, good.
Yeah.
And I'm going to set him up.
You do kind of want to, you set him up. I'm
going to set him up.
Yeah. And you want to know that baseline, the worst it could be.
Baseline, the worst it could be. I don't want to book a 4 that sometimes drops to a 2. And we got a lot of those. You know it.
I know. I appreciate you keeping it real, dude.
Yeah, no.
Seriously, like, yeah.
It's just, it is what it is, man. If you're a 4 out there, man, if you're a 4 out there, man, and you're not trying to get better, you will forever be a 4. If you're a 4 out there and you're trying to do things that 10s are trying to do, you're not going to be ready for it.
It's funny because, comedy's a business like anything else. Like, things in business pan out this way. Like,
Yep.
In an organization, there's talented people. There's like times for promotions. There's times for, there's drama, there's politics and whatever. And it gets handled in a corporate way, kind of. Yep. In comedy, there's no structure. Yep. And comics are weird ass people.
No,
we all
absolutely.
are. So like, we're not always good at communicating with each other, or like, there's never a meeting.
And like,
so it's like, when does this ever get hashed out? It just doesn't. People just don't fucking talk about it, and then it's like, well, whatever.
Dude, that's the thing. 100%. Like I tell people, yeah, you trying to be buddy with comics. Most comics are a little bit antisocial. They don't want to deal with you too much. Yeah. They do a little bit, and then they're like, okay. They do a little bit, and then like, all right, okay, let me go sink back into my hole and chill.
Yeah. I mean, I'm friendly to everyone, but like also over time, it kind of seems like the patience wears thin. It's like time's pretty valuable. So like, am I gonna waste my time with this, or is this?
Like I said, either they want to be I can hang out and talk to somebody who wants. We could talk about you being a comic all day. But if you just somebody want to do comedy, then like my patience, and it wasn't always like that. Just later on, when my passion got bigger for what this, and like I said, once I've seen that it wasn't just, oh man, you funny. This was actually a talent. Once you realize that doing comedy is actually a talent and not just, oh my gosh, I'm funny. You'll appreciate it more and you'll get more out of it. Mm-hmm. And it hits at different levels for everyone. It took me about almost 5 years for a hit that I realized that this isn't just, like I said, I'm only in it 7.5 years. It took me 4 or 5 years to realize that, because no one ever told me that people would just say, oh man, you're different. Oh man, you're funny. And it eventually hit.
Can you explain that one more time? So it's a talent. It's not just about being funny. So that means like the whole approach is.
Well, I'm saying like being a comic, being funny itself is like I said, it's a talent. It's a skill. And if you think everyone can do it, ask everyone to do it, and you'll see that everyone can't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's no different than a helicopter pilot. It's no different than someone who's in the NBA. It's no different than a doctor. That's a skill. That's a talent that everyone does not possess. And comics, sometimes we ourselves just see ourselves as somebody who's funny. You're not a clown. You're not out here just to do, you know what I'm saying? It's like, woo, woo, woo. You have a talent. You have a skill that sets you apart from probably 1 out of 10 people who you're around on a regular basis.
If that. Maybe
exactly.
Smaller than
maybe
that.
even smaller than that. You know what I mean? So once you realize that, hey, this is actually a skill. Everyone can't do this. You'll look at it differently. You'll appreciate it more. You'll value it more, and you'll get more out of it.
Right. Because you're not just up there fucking around anymore.
Well,
you're
like
working on your act. That's where my mind went.
See, and like all that part is fine, but I'm like, so you just approach it differently. You were like, oh my gosh, man, I just realized that like I am special. This is something everybody can't do. I can't just pull just like I can't just suit up and go out there and pick up and play in the NBA. You can't just grab a random person that says, man, I'm funny. Oh, you are? Yeah, everybody works. Says, okay, hop on the stage, do 25 minutes.
Yeah.
I got it. They get up there and they're telling you a story about that happened at work and no one's laughing.
Yeah.
And they're telling you about the time they did something and no one's laughing.
Yeah.
And they're telling you about all these people in their family. My cousin be like, blah, 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 and no one's laughing. And that's when you realize, oh, snap. This is a talent.
Yeah.
It's no different than a good writer. No different than a beautiful painter. It's a talent. It's a skill. I got to get out of here, man.
I know you do. All
right.
Well, I'll shout. Yeah, I normally ask.
Go ahead, do your thing, bud.
No, I normally ask you to shout out all your stuff.
I'll
link it. Yeah. Tell us about your tour. What you got going on?
Absolutely, man. You can find all of my tour dates on my page. Brandon Rainwater, comedian Brandon Rainwater. Look that up. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. I post daily funny stuff. I appreciate it, man.
Dude.
Other than that, man, you guys stay safe.
Well, dude, I just want to say thank you because,
absolutely.
I mean, you've had a lot of success and stuff. And honestly, this podcast probably gets like 130 views a week, and a lot of it's local. So this, helps us more than it probably helps you. But dude, really, seriously, dude, like, and I don't want to, just butter you up for no reason, but seriously, I appreciate it.
Well, I told you, man, that's why when I got back, I hit you up. I said, hey, man, I want to do your podcast. I see what you're doing. Like I said, man, if I see you grinding and you appreciate your craft, I don't care what it is. I want to be a part in it if I can help.
Word.
Because I had mentors, who may have, some have accidentally mentored me. Some did it right hand. But if I can help somebody out in any way, help you skip a step, then let's get it.
All right. Word, man.
All right, man.
All right. Thanks for coming, dude. Thanks for listening, everybody. See you next time.